we got kicked off of the last one, so I had to make a new one. All right, welcome back, everyone who just got off that. We got community guidelines striked, so we're gonna have to figure out what just happened. But I think we got some technical difficulty stuff figured out, and hopefully that won't happen again. But Tim's here now, which means it'll be a lot easier to balance everything that's going on with the chaos out front and the chaos back here. We've got barbecue, we've got meat, and we've got a beer already going, so it's about to get fun.
Alright, I'm gonna stand here and just be like, here for a minute. Live. Yeah, I want it, that one. There we go. Oh, yeah. Good call. Probably is because of the music. Let's silence that. At least for back here. There we go. That should be better. Steve, I'm probably in between these, so audio sucks. Steve Flanders, we did not have to change the seaming rollers to use the 16-ounce cans. No, they actually worked. We talked about that, I think, maybe yesterday in our live stream. There are two different types of lids out there that you do have to change the seamer for, but as long as you're using the same type of lid, the cannular, the 16.9s, and the 16 ounces, should be good. Those shorts are a crime. Those shorts are beautiful. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to continue to set some things up. So we got some delicious meats going on. And, yeah, let's get after it. Maybe get into the Zoom meeting soon. Beer's brewing almost needs to be sparked. And, yeah, we'll get after that. Figured I might as well take some of this stuff out here so you guys can at least like watch me play with my meat, because it's gonna be delicious. Hey. Playing with some ribs, gonna throw some butter, a little bit of brown sugar onto those puppies. They've already been smoking for a little bit. Got to close the smoker out there for a minute. Let everybody look at my butt.
Boom. Music's off. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I did get our pH meter calibrated though, so we were able to take pHs.
Nice.
We're sitting
That's
at,
gonna be, so useful.
heck yeah.
You know it.
Now we just gotta get it cleaned off and put it in a holding solution.
All right.
Smells really good back here.
Like beer and meat.
My two favorite things. Where'd the cap to this thing go? Oh, there it is.
Say what? Oh, yeah.
So always be good to your pH meters. Tactically, the best way to store them was with a storage solution. But you can also use the pH 7 buffer if you don't have storage solution on hand. But technically, potassium chloride is what you should be storing it in.
Jasper there, we're smoking up some pork ribs, a little bit of turkey breast, and some bratwurst.
And you can't have any. Well, you can probably have one. We might have extras. The second half of this video is actually just an eating challenge. Seeing if we can get it all eaten. What are you virtual barbecuing today? I accidentally spilled a bunch of buffer, or pH 7 buffer on my instructions. Good thing I've got the instructions memorized, hopefully. Bum bum.
Next
All right.
part of this goodness, at least on the meat side, we're going to throw some of our Pichichu into the wrap as well as some Count Chocula and kind of let them bask in that glory for a minute. A little more St. Louis style, I think. I don't know. I looked up a recipe. I didn't really care about the name of it. They just look delicious, and they're going in my face hole.
For those of you who didn't get the reference, the Basque is actually the short for basilisk, which is the snake in Harry Potter. We spit nothing but facts on this channel.
Look at you, learning people's stuff.
Hey, you're not the only one smoking chicken. Oh, are you smoking chicken or is other people smoking chicken?
Oh, that might just be left on there. I'm doing turkey too.
Oh, other people are smoking chicken.
Oh, they're smoking chicken? Nice.
Very nice. It smells so good here. Now this is a brew day. Before it was like chaos just trying to manage the front of the house and the back of the house. Now we've got one extra hand and a lot of barbecue, so it's all good.
That's my fault. I had to adjust plans and a 2-year-old. The 2-year-old was the majority of the problem.
Didn't. Invite. Copy URL. Yeah, that'll work. Someone's asking me what we're brewing. Did you already answer that?
I have not answered that yet, actually.
We're brewing the AHA Homebrew Day APA. Schwout. Boom. Admit.
Don't swim your phone.
Don't what?
Don't swim your phone.
Oh, I won't. We got a new Zoom up and running so people can join back in. Hey, everybody on Zoom. All right. Hopefully I'll be better at keeping on top of that now.
There's also a glass of this in there for you.
Hey, beer. Beer is fun.
Beer's fun.
Admit.
Am
Yeah.
I joined in yet?
No, you gotta click on the link, and then I can make you the moderator, and then you can be the one that's gotta tell people to join and all that.
Tell people to join all that. Join.
And then if I get distracted enough to go away,
Okay.
it will be fine.
Oh my God, yes.
Micah Russell's in. C2 in the waiting room. Admit all.
Yes.
Joining. Thanks everybody that's doing part of our meeting, which I will now be able to make host.
Okay.
All right, you're the host.
I'm the host.
I'm just a participant.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see if I can change the participants to. Oh, we're echoing something. That's me. Okay.
I was gonna turn my volume down. That way I'm not making noise on my.
Yeah, that might be it. Okay.
What am I gonna do myself?
If anybody sees, yeah, never mind. Yeah, let me see if I can open this up so it's, everybody can join just by coming in. Yeah, I think they all can anyway, so not gonna worry about it. Yay! Welcome everybody. We're kind of actually set up now. That's awesome. Again, that's mostly my fault. Oh no, go for it. Just do it. We like to watch you. You know, I hate to see you go, but I like to watch you walk away. Our wonderful handyman and brew daddy here in the shop putting some kegs away, so that's pretty darn awesome. He's a great individual. Oh yeah, you are all staring. Oh, that's what's going on. We're watching Peter. Like, why is it literally just my good little belly here? Because we're on Peter's phone. All right. Let's go in there. Let me go through a few questions here. Inkbird in the last video. No current consent. No, yeah. We'll have Logan get back to you on that, Craig. He's got all that stuff in there. Yeah, Craig, anybody can join Zoom in there. We just ask, that, sorry, I'm walking away from the mics. Anybody can join Zoom in there. We just ask that, you be respectful to everybody and have a great time. So, welcome, everybody. Glad to be back. Glad that we finally got this working and we're not trying to figure out this part, like we were Thursday. That was a fun experiment. It was a good time, though, so. Brewing the American Quarantine IPA while we got some meat smoking over outside there. Gonna be a great time. Gonna be a great time. I have no idea where we are in this brew though. That's gonna be interesting. So, well, Zoom. Let's do a roll call. Anybody drinking with us, brewing with us? What you doing? There we go. Hey, good to see you, Matt. I should do it this way. That way I can see everybody, not just one screen. Yeah. Big brew day, virtual brew day, kind of something. I don't know. There it is. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting an echo now. We're ready to spark this off?
Yes.
And how much?
Are
He's doing it right now, real quick. That's fine. I just can't see the questions, but whatever. I don't need to answer YouTube questions, no ways. So we did just get the iPad stolen. I cannot see YouTube questions right now. If you have a question, get on Zoom and ask me because I can hear you. That'll be the good way. Yeah, we're going to admit. Welcome in, Mike. We're going to start sparking this off. I'm not entirely sure how much water we're using for it, but some. It's going to be a good adventure, right? I just need to find a stool now because Peter puts it up on this thing where only a giant like him can reach it. Magic stool set up. We need water at my feet. Getting some hot water flowing through the hose there on our dedicated brewer lines. And let's start this spark. Up on this. Smash out these. Goodness. Of course, all of our electrical equipment set right up down by the water. That was an excellent decision on our part. Anyone in the Zoom meeting, feel free to engage here. Be respectful, don't talk over each other, but you don't have to listen to me in silence. I understand that, actually. I do that sometimes for myself. I'll just record myself in here, but it's soothing. It's very soothing. At least it puts my wife to sleep. her. She's not in here yet. Which, yes, I can make a few more wife jokes. Alright, how much water is that? Not enough. Give it some more. We did very precise calculations for this, so we know exactly how much water to put in the top and Sprague out with. Done before on a calculator and everything. Something like that. Stay. All right. Probably only need a few more gallons in it. We'll go out and check what's going on with our meats. Yeah. Well. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Tim, you got so tall.
No, actually, we do that all the time. So the deal about washing your grains and being that precise about it mostly is more effective for professional brewers than home brewers in the fact that we want to be as efficient as possible. So if you're running down to a specific OG or a specific gravity there at the end runnings, basically you're going to have some left over that you didn't all the way use. Unless you know you're a wizard at it and you got yours down pat, then you can do it. For a lot of professional brewers, it's just easier to do the math first and calculate it all the way out. That way we're as efficient as possible in grains and we're not wasting any extra parts. Now, having said that, we do that all the time actually. There's some beers that we make, we want to do a little extra boil or Maillard reaction. So we will actually run off until we hit the bottom gravity that we're looking for. You know, most of the time it's like 1010 or something like that. And then we'll take whatever that is, boil it to the amount that we want, and away we go. Which is a great way to do it, in all honesty.
This one's our favorite electric system. That one's a very close second.
Peter's talking about something else. Yeah, absolutely great way to do it because you get exactly what you want out of your beers. I think that one's mine.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I do that way more often than I should. Don't worry, guys. We already made out, so it's fine.
That was yours? Oh, nice. Whatever. I drank a lot of that. Peter's replacing my beer. He drank some. Yeah. The American IPA importer we did is him right here.
Yeah. No, I saw him earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we enjoyed that. I think that video is coming out pretty soon.
Already came out.
It already came out.
Yeah.
Nice. That video already came out.
He
So
commented on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just behind the times, I guess.
It was a good video. Okay, we published it yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. That.
And more people were like, "We're gonna send you guys beer," and I was like,
Nice.
"Yeah, people
Good.
send us beer. That
Do-
sounds like a great idea."
Do send us beer. Your beer to rate, but also like local brew from around your area.
Yeah.
Because we enjoyed that. Somebody sent us some Hill Farmstead, and it's almost impossible to get out here without
Super
paying
delicious.
somebody a lot of money. So send us things like that and your beer because we'll rate it.
Yeah.
All right, Peter's back. We got a few questions on here.
Someone asked us if the mash and boil is our favorite system.
Okay.
I have these set super low, by the way, so you'll sound super muddled if you're way back here on the mics.
I know. I'm trying to step up as much as I can to do this.
You got to get like really close.
It's
But yeah, no, we prefer the Anvil actually. They're both are fantastic systems. We use the mash and boil probably more than we use the Anvil. One of the reasons is we have two of them, and so if we're doing side by sides, we want to be on the exact same system whenever we can. So, but yeah, we love the Anvil too, especially with the new upgrade that they did, where the reader is on the top.
oh yeah.
So having the controller being like, you don't have to bend down to push buttons. That's super awesome.
Yeah. We got a question on YouTube if we prefer mash and boil or anvil. And the way that the anvil is, those are awesome machines. The mash and boil is amazing too, but the anvil is sexy. And speaking of beers that are hard to get, as we're drinking one right now, Anchorage Brewing Company's Mosaic Saison. I think it's like a 2015 or 16.
Nice.
Stupidly delicious. And send us some more Anchorage Brewing Company, please, somebody.
I would.
It's amazing.
I would not have known it was Mosaic.
Yeah. Well, it's so old, you can't really get anything but the Brett now, which is awesome. Send us some Bitter Monk, because that was one of my favorite beers ever, and I can't find it anymore here. Please. Thank you.
It's a new theme of our channel. We just pander for beer.
We do pander for beer. What are we at right now? Okay, no, just in that.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
caught up.
Looks like our Sparky Spark's pretty much done in here. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
And look at that. With my precise measurements, I got exactly the amount of water that we needed in there. That's actually a trick, guys. We've been brewing, probably put thousands and thousands of beers through all of these things. So we know our systems pretty well, that we can, by now, kind of look at it and just know how much water you need.
We can eyeball a good bit better than other people can.
That's right.
Not everybody. I'm not gonna say like we're the best,
not
but like
everybody, but
we've
it's
got
like
a
one of
little
those things.
experience.
We both bartended for a long time. We can free pour an ounce and a half pretty well. You don't need to use a jigger.
I keep trying to grab your beer.
Don't do it.
Just don't put beer in my way and it won't get drank.
That is true.
Somebody has to turn your mic up. That's just because he wasn't close enough.
Yeah, that's because I'm fine.
I have a lot of dampening things going on with the mics because it's really, really loud back here, and I don't want you to hear all the buzzing that goes on with the glycol units and the cars driving by, and so I have it set so that you have to be really, really close to hear us.
That's all right. I just got to get uncomfortably close to the mic, and I feel okay with that.
Pretend you're in a studio about to lay down a fat beat. Poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, drinking some beer, making some beef.
Wifey, I'll bring you beer.
Screwed up because I'm not making beef.
But why?
Dang it, wiki wow.
Hey, we're back up to 58 people watching. We peaked out on before our last one got copyrighted, we peaked out at like 70 on that one, so hopefully we can get back up there.
While we're here and doing this, we got a good little moment here. Anybody else on Zoom got any good questions, comments, or anything like that?
We got somebody commenting or questioning that they just bought a mash and boil. Do we have any good NEPA tips?
Oh, yes. Actually, great NEPA tip for this. Any hazy, juicy IPA or any of the whirlpools in that, actually. While you're bringing your mash and boil up to a boil, or the anvil, any of those with the baskets in it, actually. Dump your grains out, get it rinsed out as quick as possible, then throw the grain bin back into it and boil it with it on the inside. Throw your hops into that grain bin, because that will actually act as a hotbed filter. Now, keep in mind, if you chill in there as well, that's going to create a lot of haze proteins and things like that actually will make it very difficult and very slow exit down through. But you're also removing tons of hot materials and bad stuffs. I'm being abandoned. I don't know why. And it'll remove a lot of... Oh, sorry? Oh, no, it's all right. Well, just a quick wrap-up on that. It removes a lot of the extra hot materials when you do it with this bucket back inside. That way it's not in your finished product, and that'll create a cleaner, crisper beer. Sorry. Go Zoom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Now the mic should be identical.
Well, I mean, you do want to take that into account. Acid in beer. All right, so YouTube land. Right here, he's asking. He smokes some grains and then throws it into his system at a small proportion, but they end up being bitter and acidic. And does he need to compensate with that for the alpha acids in the hops? Compensate, I guess maybe is not the best word. You do have to take it into account. The more acidic your beer, actually, it's not going to increase the bitterness of it, but it is going to increase the hop pungentness. We do make a lot of sour IPAs here. We actually do use acidulated malt in heavier portions in our especially hazy and juicy IPAs because it enhances that hop flavor. All the hop oils and goodness and all that, those are acids, so it does help it bring it up front and out. So you do need to take it into account, but don't necessarily compensate it. If it's bitter, then maybe instead of having, bittering hop additions, moving them into flavor or aroma hop additions. It definitely could. Depending on... Hang on, let me switch mics here. Champagne is very acidic. He's asking if he's just his mash, will that compensate for that? Or his wort for it. Will it compensate for that? So that's what we're doing with the acidulated malt. That's water chemistry on the mash, but that's also us. Peter's back. That's also us. Adding a little bit more acid into the wort to enhance
Dryden's super
hop
tired
flavor.
if you guys didn't see that.
But yes, if you make your wort a little bit more acidic, it can actually enhance the smokiness flavors because smoke can get a little bit of those acid flavors, as well as it can enhance the hoppiness of your beer. You can make your wort a little bit more acidic and use a little bit less smoke and hops and still have the same level of perceived smoke and hops, I guess is what I'm saying. And a lot of that is your system, just learning what you're doing in that, because we all brew a little bit differently in there, so I can't tell you, oh no, you exactly have to do this. Well, here's a range of stuffs that you have to do. Chives.
Hayden brought us some green onions to use for today's brew.
What?
Yeah.
There's green onions in this?
Not yet, there's not.
We're getting a surprise ingredient right now, and I don't know that I'm prepared for this. Maybe a little bit of, oh man, these smell so good.
These do smell really good. I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Also, we're gonna break this out today. Those of you asking for NEPA tips, tons of things in the tons of pellet hops in the boil, and then leaf hops right there.
Play around with it.
That acts as a filter, and it gives more hop flavor, and it's super delicious. So we're gonna use that to kind of pseudo filter out.
Grains, a good trick too is to leave the grains in like a paper bag for a couple days to let them degas. If you don't do that already.
Also, if anyone has any ideas of how they want to see green onions used in beer, let me know.
That's a great thing to do as well because it releases those harsh bitter flavors and brings some more mellows out. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yes, send us some cask ESB. All right, back into the YouTube since Peter's not talking in there. And we're talking about some cask ESB right now, and it needs to be sent to us because it's amazing. Well, I'm here actually, and Peter's not there. I'm gonna pull this green bin out. Yeah.
All right, did you tell everyone about the green onions?
Oh, it's all right. What yeast did you use in that?
I opened the onions up in case you wanted to smell them. Hopefully they smelled super delicious.
Yeah, 001. Yeah, American ale yeast. So 70, in my opinion for that, 70 is a little bit high.
Ooh, we got a good chunk of people on the
Would say it's a little bit high to be
on the
fair. I mean, it's
Zoom.
okay. If you can't get a little bit cooler,
Nice.
American ale can actually take that. So that's dropping it down in temperature is a good idea towards the end, but
If you haven't already seen the Zoom meeting, we've got it. Although I might have to figure out how to
yeast can't actually spread out TMS.
be a super meeting host, because it tries to kick you out at 40 minutes of Zooming, and I don't know if I can just upgrade automatically. If you know the answer to that, let me know.
Very last hard
Although Tim's the host now, so maybe it'll ask him to upgrade it. He can spend the money. So pre-boil volume here is about 7 gallons. We're gonna go ahead and, if he hasn't already, turn that up to getting ready to boil. Already turned up. Like I said, Tim already turned it up to getting ready to boil. So let's go ahead and plug in our Anvil brew system and see if we can get a second brew going at the same time. That'll finish out at the same time.
Oh yeah, no, you're actually just fine for that. I heated up that. Sorry. Yeah, no, actually 68 is a really great temperature for 1056 WLPO1 USO5. I keep saying that.
Mom, you can have the spent grains.
These different things.
They're right behind me.
American ale yeast, that it works really well at 68. Ferments very cleanly. It will clean up. So if you keep it at 68, it's going to probably give you a pretty beautiful beer. So. Yeah, definitely. That's what we're here for, man. All right, I'm going to take a step outside.
Who wants to play a... Anvil on 220 is so... Yes, Anvil on 220 is so fast. Who wants to play a game where you guys pick what we brew? "40 minutes is the trial on Zoom." Well, hopefully Tim gets that figured out.
All right. In there. What you need?
Trying to figure out what's the best, without blowing a circuit, which one we can plug this into.
That one.
Probably that one.
Probably that one. Yeah, that one. We have a lot of different.
We actually do have an adapter for 220 for this, but I don't have it hooked up right now, and we have it on the Digiboil. So we're going to use the Digiboil to heat up water, and we're going to... Actually, maybe I should just do this whole thing in the Digiboil.
Probably. What are we doing?
Batch number 2.
Batch number 2. Batch number 2?
Yeah, and we're going to play a game where they get to pick what we brew.
Oh.
So we're going to fire up another batch, and they're going to give us what ingredients we're using.
All right.
So far, we have green onions.
Zoom World. We're doing a batch number 2. We're doing a Willet beer, spontaneous. People give us random ingredients to brew with, and we're very close to URM, so we can go get just about anything. That's what the green onions are for, apparently. Yeah, nothing, no high fats, no high salts. If anybody wants us to brew with something weird. Can they pick base malts?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can pick the base malts, but you got to fight over what it's going to be. It's going to be a poll the audience, what they want to see happen.
Now, see, yeah, we could do that. Base malt with 11% rye. We actually have a beer on tap, a rye lager on tap right now that is 30% rye malt and 20% flake rye. Oh man, well, all right, I don't know where you're at here, but close to us is Freem Brewing Company as well as sorry, YouTube world, we're talking about using rye in there, kind of in proportions for basically a rye lager. I was saying that we have a rye lager on tap right now that is 30% rye malt, 20% flaked rye. Massive beast. We got the inspiration.
Roll it up.
Yeah, 20%. Well, we got confused. Peter thought I was talking about a Rogan beer. I was talking about a rye lager because I love Chuckanut and they did one and I was inspired. But, so it was rye malt and then another 20% of flaked rye on it. And it's really good. It is really good. I don't suggest people do this normally. You know, if you're doing a rye lager like 20, 25, that is awesome. That's a great proportion there. But like I said, we got carried away. We got confused talking about different different beers. We were each thinking we were talking about a different beer. So, yeah, that happened. Actually, not that peppery. So we did a base malt of Heidelberg. Heidelberg malt is basically an extra light Pilsner on there. Extra light. Ooh, I like those ideas. Sorry, I'm looking at YouTube. Extra light Pilsner basically has a higher diastatic power than regular Pilsner, and it's like 0.3 Lovabond lighter than regular Pilsner. We absolutely love it. YouTube is going for. Oh, shoot. Our free meeting ends in 10 minutes. We got to upgrade and pay for unlimited minutes. But actually, it tastes as if you took a really nice Bavarian Pilsner. Just that nice, sweet maltiness, spicy hops to it, a little bit of the acetaldehyde green pepper that I personally love so much. Well, it might be because I'm owner.
No, I never upgraded on mine too. That's why we got kicked out of the first Zoom meeting.
First one? Okay.
Your microphone is unmuted.
Yay! So ours, it tastes like you have that really nice Bavarian Pilsner, and then you took just delicious artisan pumpernickel bread and dumped it in, mixed it all up, and drank it. It's really thick and creamy. Well, not super thick, but it's really creamy because of the flaked rye in there. But it has that really nice, warm fall spiciness of the pumpernickel bread. That's just awesome. It's a miracle beer. Like, that beer probably shouldn't have turned out as delicious as it is. So I definitely don't recommend going 50% rye in a lager like that. But it's really good, especially in those lighter beers there. Doing the rye is really delicious because you don't end up with that super spiciness. No, we did that with Independence Harvest, or Harvest Lager Yeast. Harvest Lager Yeast is Munich Lager Yeast. Munich is lager yeast is awesome. I love it for fermenting almost any lager. It's pretty darn clean. It's malty. It can accentuate hops. It doesn't produce very much DMS or sulfur, which is really important in lagers. And turning around some quick lagers, which here in the brewery we're a little bit more focused on than, say, you would in the home. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, open fermentations for any type of beer, but lagers especially is awesome. I love that. We're gonna try, eventually. Sorry. Go for it. Yeah, touch of ADD. YouTube's just catching up to us. YouTube's just catching up to us, and yes, touch of ADD. I did say there's 50% rye in a lager, split between flaked rye and rye malt, but yes, 50%. I'm gonna run out, check the meter real quick. Yeah. Weekend. Well, yeah. Kind of. I mean, you know, I can definitely see that it is beer-like looking liquid. Yes. So, oh yeah. Get after it. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. Have a good day. All right. Looks like we got some ingredients coming in from YouTube. Loaded baked potato chips. I like where you're going, but I'm actually going to amend that to all dressed potato chips because I think that's going to be a lot better. It depends on the amount that you use it in. So yes and no. It's not truly against it.
Ask the people in the meeting if they want to just re-log in or if they really want me to pay $15 for me.
So people in the Zoom meeting here, everybody on YouTube land who wants to join the Zoom meeting, we're probably going to start another one because our free time is going to end and we're cheap bastards and don't want to pay for the other one. So if this goes blank, just get back onto the YouTube for the link on that and we'll get back into it. But the potato chips, yeah, so that can actually work. Hey, loaded baked potato chips, sour cream and onion, but I also said all dressed potato chips.
All dressed potato. Oh, for the beer?
For the beer. Yeah.
That would be, so the hard part about potato chips is all the oils, and the fact that I don't have alcohol here makes it really hard for me to separate out the alcohol. So I couldn't put them in a beer in front of you guys.
That's the key word right there. But it doesn't violate the salt criteria so much because you can actually use those in low percentages to stay within your salt recommendation. It's not one of those things where like, oh, you have to dump a whole bag into it. No, you have to use the ingredient in some way, shape, or form, just like chopped. Yeah, I already answered. 50% rye in that.
So I do like that ginger idea to go with the onions. That's going to be a little bit fun. Black tea, we have black tea in front of us, but it's cinnamon black tea, so.
Ooh, but if you do ginger with the onions, you should get like Thai basil to go along with it.
Yeah. A little bit of mintiness, a little bit of earthiness.
Oh, yeah. It'd be so good.
Somebody says cream ale. Somebody says pearl. When you say pearl, do you mean pearl malts? Because we do have that as well. And
so this warms up a lot faster if you do turn it on to the 1600 watt.
I knew that.
Not the 900 watt. Hey, you know, you learn something new every day.
Nobody even said waffles, Wes?
Okay.
Those green onions smell really good. I'm skeptical about their use in beer, but somebody said cream ale.
Oh yeah.
Cream ale with green onions and sriracha ace, maybe.
Ooh, sriracha ace.
Nobody said sriracha ace, but you know.
Yeah, I like the idea of the sriracha. Green onions, ginger, Thai basil, sriracha ace. That with the Cole cheese, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be a real beer sometime.
We got maize, beets, and bell peppers. Bell peppers would be a.
Bell peppers would be a little bit interesting on that. They cannot translate well into beer, but you know, hey, that's what this challenge is all about.
How do we make it challenging?
Hey-o!
Somebody's hey-oing, and I don't know why.
I don't either. Who's out there? Let's go. We're gonna scatter. Ninja dust. Oh, never mind. It's nobody we care about. Only Hayden. Ooh, bacon. We got a Zoom. We got someone wants to add bacon in there. We have done this before. That is another one of those things that we can't infuse it in front of you. Because bacon is so fatty, the way that we would have to make the infusion would be not something that we could do here. Oh shoot, I gotta run. Wind's picking up our garbage.
Looks like there might be a storm brewing out there.
The epic weather outside is similar to, if you ever seen the movie Twister, it's exactly that. I need to get one of those what is that? Soda cans that they use at the end of it. Was that Matthew McConaughey?
I think he might have actually been in that.
No, I think it was Kevin Costner.
Yeah, but I think Matthew McConaughey was also in that.
As one of the storm chasers, maybe. Who was the female lead?
I don't remember her. Nobody really cared about her.
Internet, help me out. Who was the female lead in Twister?
Who was any of the leads? There's like some characters.
Mom, you want to bring some ginger? Bacon. Bacon's another one that we could do, and I think it'd be really fun to do. I've done bacon and beer. We did bacon and beer a couple years ago.
We were just talking about this before
Nice.
all our stuff got flown away. Yeah.
Before it got twisted.
Yeah.
But yeah, bacon's one that you really got to make a tincture with, which the legality of that is slightly questionable. First of all, and second of all, it's something we can't do in front of you very easily.
Yeah. So we can't do that right now, but it is a fun thing to do. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we actually made a Hawaiian pizza beer once because you guys said we should, being funny, and we took you seriously. It was delicious, actually. Oh,
Zoom meeting ended.
Zoom meeting ended. Well, that was fun while it lasted. New one.
Zoom meeting, take 3. By now, I'm getting so good at knowing how to start meetings and share them.
Yeah.
Invite participants. Copy URL.
Oh, YouTube just caught up with us.
Nice. New Zoom meeting.
Ooh,
We got another 40 minutes. Nice. Helen Hunt. Oh, people got it. Sweet. NTM.
Oh, Jesse Boyle said wormwood. We do have wormwood in stock.
We do have wormwood, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be very careful with it. I made a few wormwood beers. I made a wormwood root beer. Smelled phenomenal, but wormwood is aggressively bitter. So you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, didn't you do a root beer with wormwood and it was like the most herbal and like it tasted like you were drinking medicine with some root beer mixed in?
I got 2 echoes in here.
2 echoes?
Yeah, we just talked about that.
No.
Yeah, it did. It smelled amazing. Like that was one of the best smelling root beers that we had. But you tasted it, and it was just like, oh, this is what I imagined like medicine in the Middle Ages tasted like, which was pretty close.
I can't listen and read at the same time. If that was unapparent.
Yeah. Helen Hunt. You guys are doing something else. Oh, here we go. Here's Zoom. All right. Zoom. Join. Good. Join with video. Peter's got to let me into this. Oh yeah. You got to let me into the Zoom meeting.
You got what?
You're the host of the Zoom.
Oh yeah, you gotta let people in.
God, that is so good while it's warm. There's so much like candy, pineapple-y goodness. I know you gotta make me figure out that. Eventually I'll figure out how. Oh, that's where the admit all is. Nice. That sounds so good. Nice. Call via audio using audio device. Beautiful picture of Peter. There we go. We're back. All right. So Zoom World. Somebody just on YouTube World. They want to brew a bacon wrapped cheese stuffed jalapeno beer. Yes, do it. Like that sounds so good. In all honesty, the cheese in there. I don't know. What would you do to get the cheese flavor in a beer? Like if you wanted to make a jalapeno popper beer.
I mean, it's a soft cheese.
Yeah.
Lactose would be part of it for sure.
A little bit of lactose, definitely.
But then you might have to do like an actual sour, like a little
That'd
bit
be-
of sourness, like a
Yeah.
yogurt culture sour or something like that.
Yogurt culture or get super funky Brett, like Brett Lamb, but blend a small portion of it back in, so you just get like that little bit of funky cheesiness. But that would be really good. And if you make it, send us some, because I would like to drink that. Yeah. PETA's in the back here doing some stuff. Volume broke. Okay. Sorry. Being distracted. All right. So, heating up some more beer for on the spot Will It Brew challenge. This is going to be fun. So fun. Yeah, you're going to have to listen to me sing a few times. Get used to it. I don't care if you say I suck. I'm going to get a whole bunch of comments now at the end of this video. Make that guy stop singing. I don't care. We're on live right now. You have to watch these parts. Ryan can't edit them out. Yes. Our video editor edits out a bunch of stuff like this that we believe is funny. And he's like, no, that's stupid. Which he's probably right, but we think it's funny, so we don't care. What you looking for?
Another cookie thing to hang on the wall in the office. What? The second cookie thing to hang on the wall in the
I
office?
don't know where that is.
Yes.
Our handyman's doing
Is
some
that in
good
the
stuff
office?
around here.
There's one in the office.
I think my sausages might be done.
I will be there in a second.
Oh, yeah, all right. I got to stand back a little bit. We got somebody over there. Morning from the Southern Hemisphere. You morning down there. John McMullen.
Ow! That's boiling
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, that's why. Everybody watch Peter get burned. Now he's going to splash it on the back. This is a bad day to wear sandals. Bad day to wear sandals. Everybody in the Zoom world say hi to Hayden. He's standing 6 feet apart. Yeah, right over there. That boiling water, don't splash it on yourself. Don't splash it on me. Like, that's more important. Don't splash it on me. All right. This thing is taking forever to heat up right now. Well, I'm empty, so I'm gonna go.
Hey Tim, there's stuff on the ground.
What?
Right there, there's stuff on the other side. The growlers. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say that. You're gonna have to censor. Ah, shoot. I meant to bring some Bardic Brewing. If you don't live in the Spokane area, well, it sucks to be you. And come here and drink our stuff because it's delicious. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah, it's you can capture it if, depending on which ones you use and if you wash them off. I mean, potatoes, really that earthiness is the most important part. We've done a couple of them. We've done some with purple potatoes. That was awesome. YouTube world, we're talking about chive and sour cream beer. It was really cool, actually. The color stayed in there a little bit different, but really well when we did the purple potato beer. It was delicious. Oh, Peter, because we're going to use it for beer. This is the man right here who made the purple potato beer. It was pretty good. It was delicious.
Is that just like a freeze frame of him?
No, of you. Oh, of Peter? Yeah, because his phone's right
oh,
there.
you guys are showing.
It's
people my
a
face.
wonderful picture of him, actually.
That
I
was-
enjoy that.
Actually, I don't remember whose idea that was.
It was somebody's, but you did it. I remember that. I liked it.
Peter and I were both there.
Yeah, super earthy. I mean, very
It was pretty
minerally.
intensely earthy. That was the
But-
earthiest beer I've ever made, for sure.
It's like eating, homemade French fried potatoes, and you forgot to wash the
What?
potato
Beet
off.
beer. The beet beer?
The
That one
beet
was
beer?
earthy,
Oh,
but I
that
think the
was so
potato beer
good.
was even more earthy.
We made a brew
Are we
at.
still live?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. You
Cool.
step in here, get in,
Yeah, I'm
be
making-
famous.
Give me 1 minute. I need
Come on,
tea.
be YouTube famous.
Hey, where's the other one of these?
Steve's looking for some kind of fun thing.
Where's that? Where's that? Where's that?
Maybe to sit on? I don't know.
What's this going to?
I don't know. Stand away from me. 6 feet here. Coronavirus. I shouldn't be making fun of that. We need to all be serious about it and make sure we all get healthy.
I measured the chairs. They're 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
He just stepped really close. Now I did enjoy it. The feel of his breath on my neck was quite nice.
You guys have already made out a bunch, so.
Yeah, we live together.
Back. My tea's not quite, or my water's not hot enough yet.
What kind of tea you going for? That looks really good.
This is some Stash organic chai. Chai biologique.
Let me sniff it.
Logique. No, don't get too close. 6
Oh my
feet.
God.
6 feet from my tea.
Can I use your measuring stick? That smells amazing.
It's
though.
6 feet.
It is definitely 6 feet. He goes fishing a lot. That's what we're talking about, nothing else.
Hey, Peter, how much is this?
Get your answers all day.
All
How much
day.
is doing in that thing?
Like 6 gallons?
Ooh, my sausages. Let's go pull off some sausages.
I want to see your sausages.
Yeah, you do.
Kid, what beer did you drink? Did you bring that super light one?
Yeah, and IPA and sour.
Nice.
Oh, my tea was not warm enough. Alright.
Okay, improv beer.
Maintaining a 6 foot distance. There, going over to the other mic. So currently Tim's playing with sausages while Hayden showed up and is playing with spigots. Peter's doing whatever Peter does best right now. And I pulled my
I am not nude modeling right now.
and I pulled the water out of the little instant hot thing. I just ate chicken, but thanks. way before it was hot enough to actually steep tea in. So
That's what it brought me.
I have no idea where we're at back here, by the way. Customers have been coming in pretty steady all day, so it's been quite the interesting show here. I'm gonna try to read. People talking about carrot beer on here.
Carrot beer? That would no.
Yeah.
I want to do that. Let me step up there. All right, so YouTube, somebody's talking about carrot beer. I actually really want to do this. I think it'd be really fun to make a carrot juice beer because carrots have the high beta carotene in it, and it shimmers. So I think
And
it'd be
it
fun to make
should-
a
it should-
shimmery beer with
The color
carrot
should
juice.
stay too.
Yeah,
It should stay orange.
like purple carrot juice beer would be, I think, really delicious and cool.
Yeah. Weird.
Personally,
That's I forget about the YouTube delay thing.
yeah.
I'm like, why? Wait, that's not Peter back behind me right now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so carrot beer. Apparently that's the thing. We should probably do it. Also, you can turn your beer orange by throwing orange soda in it.
Yeah, yes,
As
you can.
we,
It works really well.
Ooh, did I just ruin that?
No,
That's our next Will It Beer
no,
challenge.
we told him that that's
Oh,
what
did
we
tell?
did.
Okay,
But
sounds good.
well,
Check
we
out
filmed
our,
it anyway. The film hasn't gone out yet, but yeah, that's something that's happening. Jalapeno mango beer. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna make this sometime, probably when Logan's gone because he doesn't like pepper beers. But I actually
Or
really
when my
want
peppers
to
are
make
ready,
a
which will be September.
ooh, yes, a spicy mango milkshake IPA. Like I think that
That'll work.
sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Honestly, that might be the trick to making peppers not taste awful in beer is having
Having that
lactose in there.
sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might actually, okay.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm open to this idea. Oh, I should probably just stand a little closer. I am open.
Yes.
I am open to this.
Especially that mic,
I'm-
it's a little lower. Woo. Yeah, right, man. I've been
yeah.
thinking about it, mulling it over for a while, but we just haven't done it yet
Yeah.
because that's definitely a summer or a fall beer.
That should probably be our harvest release. Damn it, Peter, so loud. We
This
have to do
guy.
it. We have to do it. It's not our fault.
Yeah, we do.
And we couldn't do things on the patio because things would be. Actually, they're not blowing away right
They're
now.
not- well,
I'm
there
looking
was a
outside,
good
like.
something blew away earlier. Zoom definitely watched me chase some stuff down.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, where are these thunderstorms they're talking about today? I'm kind of disappointed. Speaking of plants, I battened down the hinges on my greenhouse and low tunnels this morning.
keep going. I ate salsa. What beer?
Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Yeah, batting those down because I checked out the forecast and it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 65 and a nice sunny day. And then it's like, by the way, there also might be thunderstorms with 45-mile-an-hour gust front in front of them. And I had a lot of sensitive veggies outdoors that probably wouldn't like that too much. So they are all packed away in their allocated spots. Switch what? Oh. In their allocated spots.
Actually, we have
So-
done this. I'm running out of power.
Tim's talking on different things. This is confusing.
We
But hopefully we'll end up with lots of fun produce to play with and beers come this fall in the way of lots of peppers and maybe even some tomatoes. We might make like might make a red beer with some heritage tomato varieties. I don't know.
made a beer with, it's one of our Willet Brew. Has your Willet Brew 3 gone online yet?
Yes.
Okay, so check out Willet Brew.
That's the pepper beer, right?
That's the pepper
Yeah,
beer.
that one's online. Willet Beer 4, we are waiting on a tasting for.
Tasting.
Yes, that beer is
So
now in a keg, but we have to do a
Willet Beer
tasting.
3, we made green enchilada sauce, jalapeno peppers, avocados, and tortillas. White corn
Are you
tortillas.
brewing?
So pretty close to
Brewed.
you doing the salsa in there.
Is there a grain?
But downtown Spokane.
I don't know.
I don't know that they do.
Really don't know what you guys' plans are.
I think it's just
River
peppers
City
and
Brewing
now
Company, which is one of the bigger guys in town.
Peppers? You brought peppers too?
onions.
Onions, okay.
They used to take their blonde ale.
Look at that beautiful little
wrangle
hot
it
back.
through, jalapenos
Is Tim
and
in
cilantro.
frame right now?
Probably not. Jalapenos and cilantro, and that was awesome. Literally, you drank that beer, you could taste chips, you could taste salsa in there. It was incredible. I couldn't drink it all day. But
People
yeah,
talking
for
about habanero
doing
mango
the
beers
salsa
on here
beer,
now.
That was literally it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think if you
Yeah,
go
my
from a
general
heavy
experience with anything that you're throwing a lot of capsaicin at is that
cilantro,
you're gonna. This is really weird having two conversations, but lots of capsaicin equals a beer with lots of other body and otherwise chewy character just to balance it out. I've had some like habanero and some pepper lagers that are absolutely awful. So, do you want to talk to the whole world, or are you just doing your Zoom
Oh,
chat?
so well, we were talking about. All right, so YouTube, we were talking actually about salsa beer a little while ago. He was explaining it in there, so I mean, I can't really translate that very well. But basically, fermenting a beer like you ferment hot sauces, which is a pretty cool idea. I mean, I kind of like that.
Straight lactic.
Well, mixing some of those techniques in there so you get the same flavors coming out.
Okay.
But then I was just mentioning that, we just made a beer he just made a beer, and Peter, with some enchilada sauce, and River City Brewing Company, when they do their blonde ale through cilantro and jalapenos, tastes 100% like chips and salsa. It's incredible. Incredible that flavor translates.
keep
I
bumping
like
things.
it. I could probably only drink a few of them, but you drink it and literally go, yeah, that's chips and salsa.
Why wouldn't you?
So
Okay.
good job, guys.
I mean, chips and salsa it is.
Chips and salsa.
That is not my child in the background. I claim nothing to that.
No, definitely not.
Sadly, I think that might actually be the little one, not the big one.
She's got a pair of lungs.
She's got a pair of lungs. She's like her daddy.
Right?
Apparently, holding your breath for 3 minutes is not normal.
Not normal.
Looking at more stuff.
Mango lacto beer.
Oh, Tim's mic
Mic
is
is
off. Ah, fun. Okay.
Da, 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 da.
That means somebody stepped on a cord somewhere. I will check it out.
Dang it, Alex. I'll see if I can get over. Oh, I can reach this one. I'll just have to Yeah, do that. We're good. All right, what time is it? I should be watching hours. Ooh, good. It's almost time to pull those ribs off. Do a little barbecue slather on them. Crisp up the outside. Yes. Could throw a few sausages on, which you guys are welcome to some sausage. I brought a bunch. Put my meat in your mouth. It's delicious. Look at it. Sorry, guys. Getting distracted. They're standing over there. Oh, weird. Apparently, I just wasn't... Logan, my mic's good. I just probably wasn't close enough to that mic to be able to hear it. We have it because it...
just double check everything. Everything looked good, so.
Yeah, because we have it closer to the outdoors there, we have this one turned down a lot more, and that is probably why.
Peter likes to make our life difficult. That's ultimately the
He likes to see us right up close so we can
the
get
story of
intimate with
Genus.
it. I'm going to abandon you for a second to make sure that I still have pellets.
Oh. And your little mini smoker. Can we do like a camera pan over? We're gonna do a camera pan. We're gonna take out Tim here. Hey, as it's starting to rain. Hey. What?
I come bearing beer.
Okay, I just panned over to see the smoker. Now you guys are back. Tim's got this like the smallest trigger I've ever seen.
Centralized beer grabbing location
like-
where we can be relatively far away from each other.
I was gonna say, yeah, Tim's got the smallest trigger ever.
But you do need a power source, so I will say that. Be prepared for that. You know.
That looks good. Leave it there.
Yeah.
See where we're at.
All right. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh. Greetings from the Netherlands. Nice. Send us beer, please. I hear there's some great things like Nogano, and that's what I know of. Actually, I did have a really great Goza, mango Goza from the Netherlands while I was in San Diego, and oh my God, it was amazing. I think only a brewer could drink it. It was at the
So
very bottom of the keg, and it was literally like all of the yeast and probiotics that you're just like, yes, I love this.
So you
But-
went down to San Diego to drink a beer from the Netherlands. This is Tim for you, everyone. This is Tim.
Well,
Hi, my name
hey.
is Tim. I go to random places to drink beer that's not from there.
No, I will say my favorite.
no
in
Ballast
San
Point?
Diego,
Come on now.
I did go to Ballast Point. It was after they sold out. I was disappointed in basically how big it was and the lack of variety that was there at the time. I mean, granted, it was in the summer, so there's like 20 different fruited blonde ales, which I'm not about, and I just wanted more. Love Society, that was my favorite. Society was incredible. Alesmith, McKellar were also phenomenal in there. Got in the Green Flash before it went down. But it was at the Stone World Beer Garden.
Somebody gave me a compliment on my camera pan, by the way.
Nice. It was at the Stone World Beer Garden. And when you're at a place with 100 beers on tap from around the world, and there's one from the Netherlands that's a mango Goza, you're going to have it.
I mean, I guess. Might as well.
I had a bunch of different ones from Stone too, but you know we can get a lot of Stone, and it was delicious. So.
Somebody's brewing a double IPA. Very nice.
Nice.
That's ultimately, I think, what we're gonna have to start doing for our IPAs to be competitive in this like hyper competitive IPA world these days. Is it's kind of sad, but you just have to make a beer that's like 9% and just blows everybody out of the water.
That's actually a plan that we do have when we can open back up.
Yeah.
We're aiming for a 9
And
to
we're gonna have it
11%
be a
IPA.
milkshake.
No.
And we're
Not
gonna
that
have
one.
it be a sour, 19%.
No, I'm on board with the sour 19%. I can make it happen. Brett will get that high. I'll do it. This guy thinks he's joking.
Brett is he's a good friend of mine. He tends to get high a lot.
He likes to fly United every once in a while. That's not a joke against United. Please don't take it that it's an inside joke. My wife's mother, when she enjoyed particular things, that's what she called it. So
The camera.
no defamatory statements here. Don't.
I was gonna ask them what they were they had in plans for beer. Oh yeah, speaking of which, so what you guys can't see off frame is that we actually have 3 sets of identical, clean, ready to go 5-gallon fermenters right now, which means that we have the potential to knock out in the next few days not one, but 3 side-by-side batches of beer. So if you're all watching, I see there's almost 60 viewers right now. If you're watching and you wanna, you've got some crazy like side-by-side you want to see, throw that in the comments right now because I want to hear it. MOPA? We've already done some MOPA side-by-sides.
No, we haven't done any MOPA side-by-sides.
Yeah.
We're going to do MOPA, we're going to do MOPA, and MOPA. Then we're going to do MOPA, we're going to do Halcyon and Golden Promise. Then we'll do MOPA, and Heritage MOPA. Then Heritage MOPA, and
Tim's getting carried away.
Heritage Golden Promise.
So we just do heritage against heritage?
Yeah.
I think people have already been doing that for millennia.
I don't care.
Been able to taste them all.
Side-by-sides.
That was a joke, people. That was a joke.
Side-by-side.
Because, different heritages and people... Never mind. I'm just going to leave that. I'm gonna walk out, Frank.
I'm being abandoned again.
I want to show people...
Logan was trying to make a joke. He was being very clever, but he was ultimately shut down by silliness.
Yeah.
Tends to happen a lot here.
Should we show them the rest of our dirty brew house?
No? Yes?
Yes.
All right, Zoom. Dirty Brew House.
But yeah, these are our identical fermenters right now. It's cool. Apparently that one's actually got some water in it. So.
What? Oh, Reese must have kicked up his stuff.
Reese
Then we got a dirty hippie in the brew
Should I do another
house.
pan? Should I do another pan?
Yeah, you should.
All right, we're panning
Pan it
down.
up, baby.
Tell them we're panning down. So these are our, these are gonna be our fermenters right
Right,
here.
to switch to
Yeah, a couple of catalysts.
6%.
We got a couple glass carboys and some other stuff there. So. All right, I think that's about where it works. Does that look right? That thing's way lagging, by the way.
Yeah. It's
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So those
That's
are,
all right, buddy.
Those are our epic side-by-side fermenters that we got going on. Identical fermenters, which is always
Oh.
ideal.
We'll probably just keep this going in case anybody decides to pop in. Hey, whatever. I like filming myself anyway, so most of the time it's just for my wife. Yeah. Well, hang on. Let me flip this in real quick. So,
Somebody's saying Rock City Brewing rocks. I have actually heard of that place.
well, I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna poke it to YouTube. There is a Rock City. No, wait. That's Rock Bottom Brewing Company.
That would be Rock Bottom Brewing,
Rock
yes.
Bottom Brewing Company.
Yes.
I take that back. Send us some Rock City and other delicious beers. All right. Yeah, let's do it. I'm touring a brew house right now on Zoom. Be jealous.
Whoa. Oh, somebody's in Utah. 4% beer. Sad day.
Oh man.
Actually, I don't know. I would look at that as a challenge more than anything.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Like, how great can you make your beer 4% or below?
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like
no.
you can do a fantastic beer that is less than 4% alcohol, with just a moderate amount of insight. Honestly.
Could be fantastic.
Yeah. The beauty of that is that your hops will probably, blow through like crazy. So you could literally reduce your hopping schedule and still have a beer that's just as hoppy when it's compared to, beers that are twice that ABV.
Mm-hmm. We do a really great low-cal IPA while doing that. I mean, it's wonderful the amount of hop flavor and deliciousness we can get out of being that small of beer. And under 100 calories. So if you guys are in that seltzer craze, hops are more healthy for you than seltzer. They're very healthy for you.
People are making
for
fun
your
of our
heart.
equipment right now. Assorted equipment.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
what? Fine.
And also, Peter just bought a brand new 50-gallon kettle that is electric. So the only thing he didn't think about this is that it comes with two 30-amp elements, and we only have one 30-amp circuit to work with.
That's right. We can make it work.
He said, yeah, that's kind of what Peter said. He's like, yeah, it'll work.
That's what Peter says to everything. And you know what? We do make it work. To his credit, we make it work. Does it suck while we're making it work? Most of the time. But we do make it work. So, he's not wrong. He is not wrong.
What do they call that? The disparity of jobs or something like that.
Yeah.
There's
He
a
tells
better
us
name
what
for
to
that.
do, and we make it happen. Although he makes it happen too.
He doesn't
so we
necessarily
can't-
tell us what to do.
No.
He just kind of explodes out random ideas and expects
He
us to
voluntold
make
it.
them all
He
come to
voluntells us what
fruition.
do. Guys, we should do this. All right, go do that. Well, Peter, we're gonna have to do this to make it happen. Yeah? No, I don't have the time right now. All right, fine, I'll go do it. Which we end up doing some great stuff. You know, we're not necessarily making fun of Peter for coming up with bad ideas, but
Yeah.
we might be poking fun at him for having wild ideas that are not easily executable.
I'm getting more tea.
Do it.
Getting more tea.
I'm getting a brew house tour here at the same time, and it's definitely cleaner than ours. That's not, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's definitely more organized than ours. That is for darn sure. All right. Oh, Trobes. I guess I should still mention that because I have this giant pot in front of me. We are still waiting for this to boil, and it's taking a long time.
God, why is that taking so long?
I don't know. I turned up the 1600 watt. Did it turn itself off? Did it become unplugged? We're almost there. We've been almost there for a
I'm
while.
gonna laugh if this is the one time that Peter didn't set it above boiling.
I set it above boiling.
Oh, okay.
I set it to at least 210 or 215.
Oh yeah, 211.
211.
That'll do here though.
That will do. It's almost as good as 311, but not quite.
You know, it could be the fact that we got some wind blowing through here.
We could be.
I know these things struggle actually a lot when you have them outside and the wind's blowing on them.
Somebody just brought up Budge Brothers here in YouTube. We do remember
Rest
the
in
Budgies.
peace.
Budgies were great guys. They had some good beers. I miss going down in there. I miss going in there, and most of the time, there's somebody in there with their own homemade jerky. There's another person in there with their own home smoked salmon. You got a third guy in back who just, has fresh veggies from his garden. That one didn't happen, but the first two did. It was amazing. That was
And gone are the
that was a
days of
cool
like
place.
$6 growler fills from them or
$6
something
growler
stupid like that. I
And dude, the
remember.
party pigs. They
Oh,
had
yeah.
those for so long.
Those are
It was
such a bad
amazing.
idea though. It's probably
Oh.
good those are gone.
It was a great idea. You grab yourself a party pig. I mean, all right. So when Budgies were there, I was still, attempting college.
They'd be
And,
good for the first fill, and then you'd
yeah.
like go to get it refilled, and it would
It
get
would just be-
contaminated
it
and
would
just
be
go bad
bad.
on you.
But you get one filled, and you just walk around town. You go into different parties and things with your own party pig. Have your own personal beer.
Nice, somebody's coming in with a big old diesel pickup.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this to shoot outside? So, yeah, good old Budge Brothers. They were one of the original. Well, I shouldn't say original breweries in Spokane, but one of the first kind of craft breweries to start this modern wave that is going on today. So it was honestly when they started out, it was pretty much them and Northern Lights, I believe, were the only people. So let's see what you guys got for other things. Meanwhile, people are just like walking up and staring at us. I should just stare back at them.
At 72.
That neighborhood was shady. I think it's still it's borderline, but it's definitely going through some gentrification now.
I had the laptop.
That's back when Iron Goat was still in there too, which is another fairly large brewery in Spokane now. They were in that same neighborhood actually, and Iron Goat definitely has grown quite a bit. So I do know they're trying to get that neighborhood to be fancy again. So.
What are we talking about over here?
Bam.
Greenville?
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, somebody's saying that they went.
I will say
Yeah,
that
that's probably the biggest benefit of having the foundry, in my opinion, from especially from using it here, is that is having that extra wattage that you can pull from it makes boils happen so much faster, and I mean you can get better boil off as well, so that never hurts your efficiency at all. Speaking of which, we are just starting to go through our hop break, which is kind of cool. What am I doing?
Loads. We're almost boiling.
I
Mm.
mean, it's like a lazy boy. That's the best way to say that.
It is a lazy boy.
Am I giving
We are.
something to someone?
I don't know if that is.
Go
This is
out
a bunch
front.
of DME and lactose.
That looks like
Corn
dextrose.
sugar.
We've got a big
Lactose.
boiling water that you said you wanted to do two batches of beer with.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to spend the time to do 2 all grain batches of beer.
That sounds reasonable.
So since that's almost to a boil and that's at a
So
boil,
you know how we were talking about how Peter comes up with plans and then just expects us to execute them without always
Do
telling
you want
us
me to
what's
put this in
happening?
here?
That's what's happening
that was your idea.
right now.
Is it in this one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm adding it in.
Oh my gosh, that is ridiculous.
I am now adding DME and a bunch of corn sugar into a beer.
So we're gonna make 2 batches out of 1 batch here. That's what's
So I
going
can call
on.
this,
Peter
Steven
decided
Bath
that
guy,
without
right?
exactly telling us, and now we're finding out as we're doing it,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Pull
It's
this
gonna be
out.
great.
Pulling out.
Be careful,
Him?
fatty.
Beer needs green onions.
Why? That was
All right.
not my idea.
We're gonna focus on Logan for a minute. I'm gonna take a step off to the side.
So we're doing a no boil on this one, right?
It's gonna be a super fast batch.
Sweet.
Well, no, I got more going area out, but that's all.
Should we explain to everyone how no boil works?
Probably.
Yeah. I was informed by our leader to tell you how a no boil works. So how it works is you don't actually boil the beer.
I got to say fearless.
Fearless. There. Did I nail it? No. Actually, no boils are something that we've been doing quite a bit lately just because they save you so much time. And if you're doing an extract batch of beer, for anything that doesn't have to be bitter, they work great, honestly. And so, I mean, with that said, we do bring them up to a boil. We get the beer through a hot break. But then at that point, we're done. We're ready to chill. We did that just recently with a side-by-side batch of beer that we brewed with some Julius and some citrus yeast, which got kegged up and smells absolutely amazing. But we actually do it with quite a few things now. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Peter. Yeah. By the way, somebody says I nailed that description. Hold on with me 1 second. I'll go through the rest of this explanation once Peter finishes making noise. He's still going. Some point today he might stop that mill. If he loves me. There we go. Somebody wants Tim to do a challenge. Tim's cooking stuff at the moment. Also, we're breaking out pretty good now in that kettle. But anyway, yes. So no boils. I'm gonna shut this off. Hang on. Turn this down. There we go. So as I'm watching this hot break, no boils are great for any kind of New World style of IPA that you're not trying to get a ton of hop bitterness from. Usually what we'll just do is, we'll end up throwing a half pound, if not more, of hops at a 5-gallon batch of beer. So there's no need to boil them. It's not like you're going for a big protein break. The haziness really isn't a factor at that point. And you can actually go and do a start to finish extract batch of beer in a matter of like an hour and a half, which is pretty impressive. There's somebody in a pickup that's freaking us out right now too. I feel like he's gonna back into the building.
He's gonna hit my trigger first.
Nailing it. Also, somebody said I nailed the no boil description earlier about not boiling.
Yeah. No boil. Don't boil it.
Never
you
a
know,
dull
in all
minute
honesty,
here.
You think you wouldn't have to say that, but there are probably a few people, maybe not watching us right now, but there's probably at least a few people out there that you might have to say that to. For those of you wondering what I just did, a little bit of defoamer in this just to make sure that
Oh yeah, I also turned the power down. You can turn it back up now.
Irish lager.
The-
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh, the real boss is here,
Oh yeah.
aka growing up
Zoom
MacArthur.
It's like the same people need a coffee or warning.
All
that
right,
your
Tim's got
coffee's
this for a
hot.
second.
Yes, you do. Yeah, those are the same people that need a warning that their coffee is hot. Which, I mean, you know, it's not always a bad idea to remind somebody that your coffee might be hot. You shouldn't have to do that, but, you know, every once in a while, I could see that. All right, so we got that going. Hey, Logan. Yeah. If you know the hops for the 60-minute, would you get them?
No, I do not. I have not
Dang it.
recipe.
All right, we're going to hop soon. Oh, Peter's got it. I'm going to take a step outside here real quick. Well, I mean, we got a few drizzles, but that's okay. All right, YouTube back. Let me go through a few comments. Yes, Jasper, I am up for a challenge. I did do a Willet for ribs. Oh, because a great way to do ribs, YouTube saw this earlier. A great way to do ribs is Texas Crunch or a 3-2-1 method, where you wrap them up with brown sugar and butter, and it creates a really beautiful crust. They're making fun of me for getting butter here. They're just gonna eat, not even like know what I'm doing. Sorry. Jaeger, yeah. I am up for a challenge, I guess. Yeah. I have done one of the Will It Brew challenges against Reese Carlson from Natural 20 Brewing Company. It is not up on the interwebs yet, but it will be soon after we do the tasting Wednesday, I believe. So, inside the store. Yeah, the front door. All right, sorry, I'm making fun of some. Oh, Zoom ended. That's great. I can get rid of all this crap. Like for real, talking about people that need a warning on their coffee. Yeah, I'm up for a challenge. We did do a challenge. It will be up online soon. We're doing the tasting for it Wednesday, so probably by the end of next week or the week after, there'll be that. But yeah, let's do it. All right, we're getting a few more comments on the no boil here. Let me switch to the good mic and where I can actually see it. No boil, I mean, literally a no boil is where you don't boil it. You can simmer it. We're getting a few comments on there about simmering. Yeah, simmering works just as well, but in all honesty, you can't just not boil it and take it from the mash right into your fermenter as well. So you're just not boiling and getting those IBUs or the isoalpha acid conversions basically, as well as not getting as much protein break coming out of it, which is good for things like hazy IPAs. Oh, Vamp 403, the Dogfish Head Runbach collab. I have not had it. I want it. Send me some. Now. Now. Please. Somebody's talking about here sauerkraut using to brew. Actually, sauerkraut wouldn't be a horrible thing to use to brew, but one of the issues with that actually would be the vinegar content in it. That absorbs a lot of acetic acid, the sauerkraut does. So you would have to compensate for that, and you might end up losing the flavor of the sauerkraut anyway. It would turn into something like a Flanders Red, or something like that. Also, the sauerkraut could have a live culture of acetobacter in there, and then you just made a whole bunch of delicious malt vinegar. So that would be the problem that I see using sauerkraut is the acetobacter, if it's still live, if it's still a live culture, and the acetic acid, the actual vinegar in there, causing problems in the beer. Definitely could be done, but at that point, it's just, you're going to lose the taste of the sauerkraut. Chris ain't Zoom disconnected for everybody on YouTube Live now. Our Zoom meeting is done because we don't want to pay for it because we're cheap. So our Zoom meeting is done. We just have the YouTube Live going on right now. Raw cabbage. Oh man, raw cabbage. Okay. Yeah. All right. That could be really interesting, actually, especially if you're using red cabbage. The color change that could actually go through and the beautiful color that it could give you could be really fun to see, in all honesty. But, all right. Yeah, Trusted Mama mash out temp is still pasteurizing. In all honesty, pasteurizing temp is 150. That's your mash out. Well, 170 is your mash out temp. But you could still keep it down at 150. You kept it at 150 or 145 for almost an hour at least. That's definitely going to pasteurize most things in there. So you can raise it up to 170, bring it back down. I mean, you could raise it up to 200 real quick and then drop it back down. Get it to that boil, that sanitary stage, and then drop it back down. Still, wonderful way to do it. There's a whole bunch of ways to do these, so it's cool. I'm going to take a step away real quick. Be right back. Have to make sure the turkey stays moist. That's definitely important. All right. Always thought cabbage had a lot of sulfur content. Maybe not. Actually, I don't know the answer to that. But sulfur does boil off, and you can do. It can actually volatilize in fermentation too. So even if it does have a high sulfur content, as long as you set it up to degas that sulfur off, you could probably be okay with that. More the kettle sour side instead of the fodder. And the smell. Yeah, I could believe that. We're talking about the Dogfish Head Rodenbach collab. I could see it being more kettle sour than the true fodder side on that. Especially, doing this collab, they're halfway across the world from each other. That's a lot of space to span, and you can get some really good sour flavors from kettle souring. At the business standpoint, I see why they did that, or why that would be a thing rather than going the full sour on it. But I prefer fodders myself. Vegetable beer. Yeah, 35.70. Yeah, that'd work. That'd work, Jasper. Definitely. All right. I feel like there's something. Oh, there is something that I need to do right now. Let me find one of the other guys so you people are entertained. So everybody out in the digital world is entertained. Doing YouTube Live. Making a beer. That's sad. She need shoes too. All right, we're eventually going to get these hops in there, get this beer going a little bit further. I got to step out sometime soon and get my ribs all dusted up with goodness. We do not have whole leaf saws right now. We do have some whole leaf hops that we could sell to you, Timmy's Big Adventure. Right now, I believe in whole leaf, we have Northern Brewer, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Cascade. Maybe, and Amarillo. Depending on how soon you want the whole leaf saws, we probably could add it in on one of our orders. We normally put them in on Mondays. I say about a week and a half, 2 weeks on shipping right now, just because it's a little bit crazy. But Timmy's Big Adventure, if you do want some whole leaf saws on that or any of the other ones I mentioned, yeah, send us a Facebook message or call into the shop. We'll get it ordered up for you and get you hooked up, brother. Vamp, I agree with you on that. Like, I'm not against kettle. He's talking about the Rodenbach still. And I'm not against kettle sours. They're awesome. They're delicious. But when you get that full flavor funk spectrum from having the oak fermentation in there, all the Brett and PDO and lacto, yeah, funk. Give me the funk. I agree with you on that. God, I'm going to butcher that. No, I'm going to call you that so I don't butcher the rest of it. What were you cooking? Yeah, sausage, ribs, and turkey. That's what we're cooking right now. Definitely. It's right here. Yeah. Funky. Yeah. All right. So, Peter's back. He's answering for you. I've gotten caught up most everything, but anything you want to comment on, go for it.
Did you get the hops?
No, you didn't give me the hops yet.
I weighed them out, and then there's a lot of...
Then you got distracted. Yeah. It's okay. Go get the hops, get them in here, and then I'll get some sauce on the ribs. I don't know. I'm holding mine. I let go of it. Somebody else is going to drink it here. Hey, I mean, at least you weighed them out. That's something. Speaking of funky, actually, we mentioned it earlier, but what I am drinking, what Peter was drinking earlier, was from Anchorage Brewing Company, Mosaic Saison. Brett finished, is stupidly delicious, quite a few years old. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get some.
Try to get boiling water splashed on me.
I mean, hey, let me get the iPad out of here. Don't break our stuff.
Hey, it's a super smart idea, okay? I'm just being as smart as possible.
Don't break the expensive stuff, anyway.
The expensive stuff's right there. Let's be honest.
Oh, my God, though.
Super fresh Centennials.
Like, oh, I wish you could have smell-o-vision right now. It's like when you're brewing beer, but with fresh ingredients, but better. God, that smells so good. Do you have a time? 4:17.
I was just going to say, someone on YouTube.
So, mark that.
Someone out there, start our time.
But they're behind us, though.
Yeah,
So
they'll get it. They'll yell at us when it's time. All right, you got some ribs to rub?
Yeah, I got a video of the ribs and smoker. Yeah, we could do that. You are right in front of the camera right now.
You are looking down.
That's my brother-in-law.
Those are adorable shoes.
He's bringing my daughter some shoes.
You were looking down. I thought you were not.
The first thought you were just gonna like zoom past, and then I was like, nope, he's stopping right there. Grade those shoes on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody. Alright, you got the ribs on?
Yeah, ribs are on.
We're gonna get the video on that.
Yeah, let me grab
Oh, but we gotta make sure that there's.
Tim, I brought the Bardic.
Yes, you will get a video of the ribs in smoker. It'll just take a second.
It's gonna take a second because I have to get the sauce so I can rub these down and get that really good, delicious, sweet crust on them.
Yum num nums. Alright, let me know when you're ready. You ready now? See how close I can get. I don't know if I can get very close. I'm going to exhaust my runway at some point. Probably getting a little closer. Look at that range. Look at that range I got. Just gotta estimate. I'm probably way off. It's also going to look really weird because you can't see where I am and talking because the microphones and the video cameras are in two different spots, but hopefully I nailed that. Mixed firm photo. Let's see if the live or the thing is caught up. And back in the beer world, we're boiling on two fronts, so that's cool. We're gonna have both these finished around the same time. Yet apparently we still have to get like beets or ginger or something. That's super zoomed in right now. All right, now we're back on the brew day. But I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something.
What are you grabbing?
I don't know. Yeah. This one mine?
I don't know. I'm going to super plug Traeger for all of that deliciousness that we just did there. Love those guys. It's amazing. They make great products. They make some delicious things, and they always make me hungry online too. So.
You guys don't have some spent grain when all this shit's done? Okay, good. No. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that one's yours. Even though we do have some delicious beer made by our friend Hayden over there, I don't trust him because of coronavirus. So I'm going to be having some wonderful Voodoo Ranger Starship IPA. Actually, I just want the Starship right now. It sounds super delicious, but I'm going to get to his next. Timmy's Big Adventure. That is a Traeger camp cooker. That is their small portable version. It does come with a AC power adapter for your car, but you do need to plug it in somehow. Wonderful thing. It is camp, so it is small. Do keep that in mind. Yeah, beer mean too. Again, that's the Traeger camp cooker. I don't remember the exact name, but if you search for the camp cooker from Traeger, you'll find it. Yeah, Chris, that's a great idea to build your own smoke controller. It is cheap. It is easy to do as long as you have a little bit of technical know-how on that. And, you know, I love Traeger. I've been using them for a long time. I cannot speak enough for the customer service and praise of their products, in all honesty. I've had a great time with them personally. But building your own is awesome too. That's something kind of like brewing. I mean, that's one of the things that I got in with. You can fully customize it to yourself. You can make your own on that, use different woods, like to get after it, make delicious things. God, this beer smells amazing. Amazing. Do not try to inhale your own saliva. It does not work. Vamp. I've had that beer, the sour IPA in the white can. Oh my God, that's so good. New Belgium sour IPA. It's a mix of a sour golden ale as well as a IPA on that, and that thing is incredible. Bought it from my local bottle shop, Bottles. Bottles is awesome. Josh, Mara, you're amazing. You're probably, well, Josh isn't watching. He doesn't do technology. Mara, you're amazing if you're watching. So good, guys. Get some of that. Sour IPA is amazing. Get after it. But that is an awesome one. Definitely.
Back here.
Yeah. What?
Oh, there it is.
Logan's losing stuff again. Mostly his mind, but
Put it there.
we like to hide stuff from him. Oh, yes. Peter, have you had the Space IPA yet from New Belgium?
Yes.
Refresher, because beer.
I just smelled the mic. Out of instinct.
Just think, I was on that mic earlier. You got to smell it, though. This is amazing, too. I love New
Hey,
Belgium.
looks like I got
We're
the ribs on
catching up. Yeah. This is a great beer. I mean, New Belgium always kills it. I like the biscuitiness in this beer. I mean, it's super light, good haziness on there, great flavor, but that biscuitiness, when biscuit is done right, it is this and delicious. When it's done wrong, I want
Hey,
to
we're
have
almost at
them
a
for
boil over behind
breakfast.
us.
Oh, yeah, we're at a boil. Watch out for that. There, defoam? I'm just going to do it. Ours is all beat up, so you can't tell what it is. Again, I'm just throwing a little defoamer in that to make sure that it doesn't boil over in case we forget about it. Defoamer is awesome. You know, good thing to use in your boil to stop a boil over, as well as your mashes to stop an explosion out of the top by the Krausen. Works really well. Oh, I'm watching the YouTube right now. I'm rubbing down the ribs. That looks so good. Absolutely profesh. Ooh, we're checking the camera angle. I was right on. Nice. You had that when we were doing the camera earlier over the Traeger. You literally had it like dead on. That was perfect. We're getting better at this.
Ooh,
All right.
yeah, that looks sexy. Look at me.
When's our next hop edition for this?
20 minutes?
Yes, 20 minutes. Columbus, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts to get a lot more Columbus and Centennial towards the back end. I can go get
Yeah.
that prepared. That's a good looking chunk of meat.
Yeah, it is. I mean, in all honesty, that looks... Oh, it's out of focus. So what I just got... Now it's more in focus. The barbecue sauces, because I know somebody's going to ask out there. We did the ribs in two different styles. They have the same rub on there. One of them, like I said, I was doing kind of a St. Louis where I put some butter, brown sugar inside. I know, don't yell at me. Tin foil. I tried to get some butcher paper and everybody was out. So tin foil on that. And then in one of them, we put a cup of peach chew or peach hibiscus sour. And the other one, we put a cup of our Count Chocula stout. Then smoked those up for a little while. On the peach chew one, I put the Traeger apricot barbecue sauce. And guys, like, buy that barbecue sauce. That thing is so good. Oh my God. Like, yes. Yes, sir. And the other one, we just went for the plain Traeger Q sauce, which is also very delicious. We have definitely had New Belgium, Vamp.
I was gonna get hops.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. What? Oh yeah, he's getting us hops. Never mind. We have definitely had New Belgium. Not as much, but New Belgium definitely comes up here, and they're so good. Just amazing brewers at that. So definitely. Now, if there's a New Belgium where you are that you can get that we can't, send it to us. Thank you, Steve. Foils is fine. I mean, I know foil doesn't preserve the crust as much, but if you do that back end smoke, you preserve the crust on the ribs. No, we have not read the new IPA book by Scott Janis. Not yet, anyway. Maybe soon. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's one of those things. Sorry, we're talking to Steve again about foil and butcher paper. If you guys haven't done it before, when you're wrapping up your ribs, briskets, things like that, a lot of places will have you use foil. Foil is good. It's fine. Foil and then parchment paper, which still has the wax on it, will actually steam your meat. So it will soften up the crust on that. So at the back end, you have to come back and then re-smoke it a little bit to build up the good bark. Where butcher paper, non-wax butcher paper, allows that steam to escape, but still holds the liquid and the fats in. So you keep your bark and the deliciousness of the meat. It's kind of a cheater way in barbecuing. If you want to take your step up in good queuing, move away from the foil into the butcher paper. Like in brewing, if you want to take your beers up to the next step, it's doing water chem instead of just your local water. Type of thing. I mean, it's a rough allegory.
I got more hops. When do we need them? Right now? Later?
Right now? Later? I don't know. YouTube, when did we put that in? Let's go 4:15. So 20 minutes from that, 40 minutes from 4:15.
4:45?
4:45. 4:45 sounds good. That's
Nailed
totally
it.
accurate.
Yeah, 100%. Well, since I might be a little early on this, I'll just throw these in the other one.
Oh,
Two
bam.
batches of beer.
No, that one I haven't had. We were talking about a sour IPA from Belgium. There's a sour IPA on the shelves right. Oh no, we were talking about that, but Where I Live brew. Never mind. Yes, Where I Live is incredible. Oh, that took me We were talking about the New Belgium Sour IPA, which
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had yet. Try some. It's amazing.
I have.
It's so good. I think we can make a sour
We drink a lot of beer.
better here because, we're better. But, we're
We
good.
have made some damn good sour IPAs.
We have. But that's an amazing one. Where I Live. If you haven't had Where I Live yet, either have it. If you haven't had Where I Live yet, have it. It's awesome.
Hey, we got ginger.
A dark sour. Dark sours are hard things to do well.
The other terminal now. Is it back here?
Yes, right there charging.
Jesus, guys.
Logan!
Why is it back here?
Dark sours are hard things to do because you have because I need to charge my phone. They have a lot of sweet, chocolatey coffee flavors, which is a little bit harder to match up in sours. Not the easiest thing to do. And there are some people who do it wonderfully. My favorite sour brewing company in the world that I can easily get a hold of, Cascade, has some wonderful ones like Vlad the Impaler and all the Bourbonic Plagues. Oh my God. If you can get a hold of Bourbonic Plague, definitely do it. And send me like a case. I will pay you for it. In beer or anything. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Say no more. No more. I'm saying no more.
Saving no more. So,
I'm
update. We just
asking-
got ginger.
I'm asking them to send us a case of Bourbonic Plague.
Yes, you should send us. You should just send us all the beer. We're probably gonna ask like 4 times per every live stream for you to send us beer, mostly because we drink a lot.
I'm at like 6 times now. But yeah, that's a wonderful one. Doing dark sours is not easy. Where I Live is awesome. New Belgium is great. Ginger! And not just a soulless redhead. Don't take offense to that because,
There's some redheads. Don't. He didn't say all redheads.
I
He
didn't
just
say
said some.
all redheads. I
Some
just
redheads
said,
don't have soul.
Well, I said,
souls.
yeah, some.
Yeah, some.
Only the ones without souls don't have souls,
Obviously.
obviously.
And 9 times out of 10, those are vampires or school teachers. You
Yeah.
may never know.
I mean, I barely see the light of day, and I'm allergic to garlic, so... All right, let's do some things. I did not know Where I Lived was with Quake. Thanks, Vamp. That's super interesting. We've been using Quake with sours, too. It's an awesome use for it. Oh, trusted mommy. Purist not telling you not to use butcher paper. Okay. Now, it's one of those things. If you literally have like 48 hours to sit and babysit your barbecue all day long, which is fun with a lot of beer, yeah, go for it. You don't need to use the butcher paper. But in all honesty, we're back on barbecue because I love it too. But in all honesty, there are some flavors that you cannot get without having that meat wrapped up a little bit. Now, no, they didn't do this 100 years ago, people are going to yell at me because, yes, they didn't do that 100 years ago, but they may not have had that option 100 years ago. There's nothing wrong with that. If it tastes delicious, do it. Now, if you're making boiled ribs, and no offense to people that do, I'm not going to eat them. No, I will eat them because they're going to, go in my face hole and they're ribs. Straight in my tummy. But you should smoke it. Delicious. West Mall Tripel in the house down here. Yes, do it. We have a nice Tripel coming up. So anybody in the area, you definitely want to hit that up when it comes on tap. It's going to be amazing. Timmy's an O-Rack smoker. I get that, man. Go for it. Do it. And in all honesty, there's a lot of stuff that I don't wrap either. I love to do the Texas Crunch wrap on ribs. That's mostly why I do it. When you get that butter and brown sugar crust, I also do things, instead of using like the honey or I'll use less brown sugar and use things like syrup, like boysenberry syrup or maple syrups in there, sometimes jams. Using a good pepper jam in that is amazing as well. Get yourself a little bit of a different flavor in that crust, That's a wonderful thing about like all of this stuff. We can make so many different delicious things. It's awesome. Tart of Darkness from the brewery. Yes, I have. That is a delicious beer. Wonderful, wonderful. Ben Wilson. Great dark sour. I'm gonna say that Cascades, Vlad the Impaler, and Bourbonic are better. I like Cascade, so that might be a little bit personal in that, but I think that they're better. Right now, I'm on Tart of Darkness.
Oh, I used to carry that. That was one of my. I stored a lot of that when I had the shop as a bottle shop.
I actually bought all the last of his bottles when they were on an extreme sale. I still have a few of those. They're wonderful. If you have saved yourself some Isola Molitus Colibus, I'm not saying that right, but the cherry bourbon dark sour from Avery,
Insula Mistos Calibos.
that one, stupidly delicious. If you still have Fortuna laying around, just keep a lot of it. Keep so much. Oh,
You can give me sexual favors later.
thanks, babe. Love you. Look, Logan is amazing. My phone was dying earlier. He brought me a spare battery pack. Like this guy right here. If it wasn't coronavirus, I'd give him a hug.
Next step is
Maybe
we
a
kill
smooch and a butt pat.
Oh yeah, kill it and then we'll add some more stuff.
Add some more stuff.
You got ginger. Yeah, do you want to do that?
Did we add any hops?
Add 1 ounce of hops.
Not yet.
All right.
Oh,
Let's add my
that
chai
sounds
tea to
so
it.
good. Do it.
I'm adding my chai tea. Oh no, this is cinnamon. Let's get some chai.
Yeah. Acnototus. Toads. Acnototoads. That sounds like a great recipe for a lawnmower beer. Very nice, bright. That lemon drop actually is going to add a little bit of herbaceousness, more so than people think lemon drop does, but that's going to be perfect for that lawnmower beer especially. I like that. It's a good recipe.
Right. We gotta use all the tea bags in here if we want anything.
You guys are about to see why a floor drain is so friggin' amazing.
What? What is that? Oh no, it's just been building up stuff. I've been trying to clean it out as I go, but we need to definitely hit it with some peeps.
Yeah.
Because we do the overnight research.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
Omega Hornadol full spectrum. I like Hornadol.
Logan's
Skipping
getting some
down
chai
a
for
few
those
of
of you guys who don't know
those.
what's
I
going
know
on.
Steve. I kind of skipped over yours a little bit where we were talking about wrapped meats, and
You
they're
got 14 tea
delicious.
bags. You
I
think
agree
that'll
with
be
you. Hornadol is awesome. I think we have Hornadol as a house yeast actually in here. I love the pineapple-y flavors, a little bit of funkiness that comes off of that. That's a great yeast.
Should make sure people aren't trying to buy stuff from us.
Stars color Berliner. Vamp, I have not had that. It sounds delicious. Send it to us.
What's going on? Why is there a person smiling behind the camera?
Yeah, Tim, I'm with you on that. I'm brewing with old equipment too, and that's one thing. Like with brewing too, once you get your bearing on it, once you know what you're doing with your stuff, it is awesome. You can produce so many amazing things. You know, I enjoy it. Get after it.
Big Brewday's about to get weird.
We do love Logan.
It does exist.
Thanks for tuning in, Chris. See you later. A knot of toads. Thank you for separating that out. I just don't see that. Also, it's really small and I need glasses. Better than mine.
Ask them if they think that 14.
You already said that early in there. I apologize for not getting that the first time.
Ask them what they think of 14 tea bags. Do I need to go to URM and buy more?
We're asking everybody what we feel about 14 tea bags in this beer of licorice spice. No,
this
chai.
is
Chai. Hi, baby. Come here.
It does have organic cinnamon oil. I'm not sure if that's going to be bad or not. I doubt it's any,
that should be okay.
I was like, I doubt it's enough to hurt anything.
My what? Oh, yes.
I don't see oil slicks when I drink it.
Say hi to everybody, baby.
Also, the
Say
shop
hi.
wasn't any martini.
Hello. That's her way of saying hi. This is my daughter, Noelle. She's 2, so that's something. Almost 2. What? She's trying to wave at all of you right now, just very lazily, because she also has berries and food are more important. Food is always more important, right, baby? Hey, I know you don't have a cup. Cheers. Yeah. All right, go see your mama. All right, I'm going to leave all of you to stare at Logan's noggin for a minute and check my ribs.
So now the question of the day is, how many tea bags is too many tea bags? I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. So I have 14 tea bags here. I'm about to tea bag this beer, and yeah, this is a chai tea from Stash. I don't know if the brand matters at all. It's just what I find in the store, and I always play with new teas. So I'm about to, we're about to do some beery stuff. So I'm gonna try to tie these guys off in the thing behind me. I honestly don't even know what kind of hops Peter threw in there. Hopefully they play well with tea. Alright. How am I gonna do this? Oh, dang it, they won't quite fit. The challenge is real. Struggle is real. Uh-oh. I need to get more string or something. That was hot, by the way. Alright, there we go. That is probably not going to work very well, but we're going to go for it. Boom. Tea bags are in the beer. Tea bags are in the beer. I repeat, tea bags are in the beer. Also, oh, I could have put them in there. Now he comes with a bag. Might as well just throw those in. They'll settle down at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This one doesn't have a pump anyway.
But I also got to throw some green onions in there, so you know.
Somebody says they think jeez. The comments. The tea bags have started. Somebody said 3 tea bags is too much.
Quick, as many sexual innuendos about teabagging in the next 5 minutes as possible. Go!
Yeah, we'll try to get us kicked off again.
So I'm going to get the ginger in hot, and then after that I'm going to, when it's down at like 180-ish degrees, that's what I'm going to throw in the...
Somebody's asking if we know what hops will work with that. The answer is I don't. I'm just hoping whatever hops Peter threw in will. What hops are those?
CTZs.
Oh, CTZ, Columbus. Those should work pretty damn well, actually. Yeah. They'll be a little bit dank, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of any hops that wouldn't work with.
It smells strangely
chai.
good right now.
Yeah.
But we still got to throw green onions in it, so. You know.
Chai is an oddly easy compliment. Oh man, I lost a tea bag.
It's still boiling hot.
we better make sure we get all of our tea bags in. Don't want to forget it, bad.
You don't want to lose a tea bag.
Somebody said that tea bagging, that's just nuts. Touche, my friend.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Somebody saying minus tea bags is not enough. I don't know. All right. Well, so we now have. This beer is going to be quite the interesting one. So now we have chai tea. We have fresh ginger. Actually, I don't know when Peter snagged that.
My mom brought it by.
Oh, okay.
We ended up going with the ingredients that were delivered to us and or already here instead of going to the store and buying some more.
Which I think chai tea actually has ginger in it. Let me look at the packaging.
So far it's all complimentary, but then we still got to get the onions in there, so. Yeah.
So in this tea, there is black tea, green tea, organic ginger root. So organic cinnamon, organic cardamom, organic clove, organic cinnamon oil, organic clove bud oil. I think this is organic. Do you think this is organic? Oh wait, it says organic on it. Crazy concept.
I don't think it's organic. How organic is it?
I don't think it's very organic.
I think you're organic.
Speaking of Michelle, where's her CPA? I need to tell her that the shop needs to buy me tea. that was most of a box of tea. It's probably a good thing.
Oh shit.
All right, what's it smell like?
Delicious.
It actually smells pretty good so far.
Okay. The aroma coming off of this beer is, or wort, whatever you want to call it, is definitely reminiscent of a beer that my wife made a couple years ago, which is which she was trying to do. Hey guys. Which is reminiscent of a gingerbread cookie, actually. So I think that's just a kind of a thing that happens when you throw ginger in with sweet wort, because that sweet wort has a sort of like toffee molassesy character that you get from a gingerbread cookie, and then the ginger itself just builds on that. Timmy's Big Adventure. The base beer is something hoppy, I think. I don't know. Peter threw CTZ, so Columbus, in there, and I don't know how many hops he threw at it. It was definitely green looking. Is it 1 ounce? Oh, okay. So really not that many
Speaking
hops.
of hops, I probably gotta add more hops to this one.
Yeah, we should probably add more hops to that one too.
Name the hop, put them over there.
Are we chilling it? Do some more CTZ. We'll just keep it simple.
I know we're not yet chilling, but I did turn that off.
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait for it to drop just a little bit, then start chilling.
Either that or Pato.
Just pick a hop.
All right, we're doing Pato. So Pato is going to be our finishing hop for the beer behind me, and then I don't know what. And then I think this is going to be the standard recipe here. This is what happens when you've only actually been up in front of the camera brewing these beers for like 30 minutes of the brew day. Things get out of control. People are still tuning in. Tea bags. Still lots of tea bag stuff. Somebody's saying, I'll bet you. Who is this? That's Hunting 902. I'll bet you that if you did a live brew day, more than one people would watch. Fact, I'll make Peter and I watch it just so that two people can watch. Uh-oh, I'm breaking stuff. All right.
Magic Hop Fairy. Which one do you want to add?
Somebody's saying they're afraid to brew with CTZ.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shame you right now.
Okay,
Oh,
share.
crap, I just did something weird.
Why?
Yeah.
Why though?
I think it's because they think that it's old. So for the record, this is 2019 CTZ. I don't know.
Okay, CTZ. I will get this. Some of those older hops do get a lot of bad rep because they were developed as high alpha acid hops for bitteriness and not much more. Apollo was developed for that. I think wasn't Centennial. I think Centennial. No, I'm not going to say that because I'm not sure. Don't ignore that. But there's a lot of these hops that were bred to be high alpha acid for bitteriness and not much flavor. And when they came around, they didn't have much flavor. I will agree with that. But Columbus, Tomahawk, and Zeus don't really exist too much more. Most of the time, it's either Columbus or CTZ. That's what CTZ stands for. It's Columbus, Tomahawk, Zeus. They're all genetically the same hop, so we just kind of call them Columbus now. If you want to make a dank IPA, a Pacific Northwest IPA, a West Coast IPA, a hazy IPA, a New England juicy, ouch. Oh, that was boiling water. That hurt so bad.
That was the world telling you that you're talking too much.
Probably.
All you gotta do is show 'em.
CTZ is amazing. These suckers they're dank, they're citrusy, they're fruity.
It's Columbus.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
Columbus. It's amazing, amazing hop. It's so versatile.
16%
Do
alphas
that. Use it.
this
If,
year.
if you're scared of it, just actually you could use CTZ in a straight replacement for any Cascade hop or any Amarillo hop edition anywhere, and it would be good, in my opinion. That's
we're
one of my
closer.
favorite
We're
hops.
closer.
Oh, okay. I get closer. Okay, ready?
Hey, we got some people almost done. Nice.
That better?
Ah, Eric, you literally just said what I was talking about. Yes, use the CTZ instead of Cascade in your next beer. Straight up, 1-to-1. Don't scale back on it. It will be amazing.
And it's surprisingly grapefruity too. It's not just the dankness you get off it. You get tons of other.
Citrusiness. We made what was supposed to be a dank hazy IPA with Columbus, pretty much Columbus and Amarillo exclusively, and it literally ended up tasting like orange juice, like pog juice.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Super yum num
So
nums.
good. Pato. Pato is a new hop, came out last year. Pato is awesome. It made one of the best IPAs that I think we've made in a long time, that small single batch.
Yeah.
Now, that was kind of a miracle IPA. We had 3 different people over 2 days brewing it, so we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But,
Well, each of us knows part of what happened.
right. Pato is it is a mother that's German. No, it's a mother of Hallertau, I think. It's a German noble mother, and then it's a father from a fine noble hop in the Kent region. So I'm gonna say pretty much it's like Hallertau and EKG mixed, but it's also at a very high AA percentage.
Yeah, it's got to be like Hallertown Magnum or something like that, or like it's got to
Yeah.
be. But it comes across like it's got dank, it's got grassy earthiness to it, and it's got a little bit of fruitiness in it, but not like that. That huge New World Simcoe fruitiness or whatever.
No, there's the little bit. When we first made that IPA, all the way through the fermentation process, it was stone fruit. I mean, like apricot puree, stone fruit. It was amazing. And then finally, when we got to serving it, it was earthy and spicy, a little bit of tea, like EKG quality in there. I would say it's basically as if you took a German and English noble variety and bumped it up to American New Age hop AA levels.
No, this is happening right now, by the way. I gave it a little bit. It's been chilling for like 2 or 3 minutes now. The beer behind us, so that's enough. It's probably gonna get it down to that 190-ish range, which is low enough. I'm gonna go ahead and add my green onions.
Ben Wilson, you're commenting about Nugget on that. That's the same way. Nugget's a great hop. I think it's underutilized. We used it a lot in old school 90s IPAs.
Ooh,
that
smells like minty now that it's in the boil.
the Pato?
No, the green onions.
Green onions. Ooh, we'll have to sniff that real quick. But yeah, Nugget's an amazing hop that doesn't get used as much anymore. Do it. Get after it. Revisit some of these old hops that we haven't used since the 90s because they have changed. The way that we care for the hops have changed, and the way that we use them have changed. So you could be really surprised at what great flavors can come out. Galena and Belma. Oh my gosh, bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. A hop that a lot of old school 90s books tell you not to use is incredible hop to use because we know how to use it better. Next edition is 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, so we're probably pretty close. Huh?
Pretty close. Amarillo and Columbus on that one? Or I don't know. Go for it. But yeah, let me sniff this over here. Okay, that is amazing. You can smell the chai, you can smell all the spice. There's a minty, but still a vegetal green oniony flavor going on in there. It's almost like a chimichurri. That's the closest thing that I could say that's delicious. I'm excited about that beer. Strata. Yeah, a lot of people have been using Strata. If you're anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, see if you can pick up Crux do you remember that one? Flying Altitudes or Crux? The blue label. It's altitude. It's altitude something. That's 100%. I believe that's 100% Strata, or it's Strata featured hops. Strata's pretty interesting. When I've used it and when I drank it, it does have some really nice fruity tropical aspects to it that you would expect from some of the new age hops. But at the same time, there's a whole bunch of minty green grassiness, almost fugal quality in that. I like it. It's an interesting cruising altitude from Crux. I got it from my producer over here. Great beer. Check that out. That's Strata right there. I like it. It's a good hop. I think it's good for the new age hops because it still provides some of that bitterness and that old school hop while getting that deliciousness up front. Ben Wilson, great comment there. Think of hops like grapes in there. Terroir is a big thing. We're talking about that. It looks like terrier on the page. Terroir is a huge thing in growing hops. It changes completely the hops where they're grown. Mount Hood and Willamette are both big examples of that. Mount Hood is basically a Hallertau hop. They took Hallertau, started growing it in the Pacific Northwest area, and it changed flavor so much it is a distinctly different hop now, and that's Mount Hood. Willamette, I believe, is Fugal. Now, don't take me 100% on this, but it started off as an English noble hop, too. And just because we grew it in a different area, it created a different flavor. There's a whole bunch of different hops like that. It does depend on where you grow it. And as a homegrown hop people, that's something to take into account, too. Your homegrown hops are going to taste wildly different from what you're getting from the hop fields of Yakima or Germany or New Zealand or wherever you're getting them from. They will taste different. They will perform differently. And it's cool. That actually is awesome for me because we can taste different flavors and come up with different beers and keep expanding and doing delicious things because of that. And for me, that challenges me as a brewer if I want to have a consistent beer to keep up with the changing flavors, and how do I adjust the hopping schedule and maybe even the actual hops themselves to keep coming out with that specific beer. Delicious hops, Timmy's Big Adventures. That's a great spread. Crystal's an underrated hop. You see that everywhere, and there's a lot of old school recipes use it and stuff like that. That is a wonderfully, pleasantly mild hop. All of your low hop beers, Crystal, like that's a great way to go. Great way to go. Ben Wilson, good comment on that. Strata brings him back to the old school days of West Coast IPA. Yeah, great description of that, where you can have that fruitiness, you can have that dankness, you can have that hoppy bitter bite all in one hop. It's a good package. Steve's looking for something again. I love his confused look.
I would clink, but I don't have any drinks, so I can't. No clink. Oh, well, there we go. You clink, you drink. We got rules here.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Any guesses?
That's got some giddy up to it.
First hint, it's local. Nothing? Yeah, so what we're drinking right now is from a place called Bardic Brewing Company, right down the street from us. Mark Haney's an awesome guy, good friend of ours. Love you, Mark. Although you have permission to like call out my name next time. He did a live stream yesterday.
Good job, Mark.
I gave him the dirty bastard he was drinking. He said it's from a friend. You can say my name. You could give
Dirty
us a
bastard
plug
from a
too.
friend who. Dirty bastard from a friend who.
I mean, he could actually just said it was from a dirty bastard, which would, would have been accurate for
I'm
me.
a dirty bastard.
I'm
who's
gonna
been
get
messing
blocked
around.
from YouTube right now, actually. All right, sorry. Bardic Brewing Company is amazing. This is their Russian Imperial Stout. I believe he finished out at 12%. This is incredible. This is incredible.
Tastes a little higher to me than 12%, but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. It does have a good alcohol bite to it, but that reminds you that you're drinking something big, so you don't chug it, which I personally appreciate.
It's not that cloying thickness that makes it hard to drink. It's that easy thickness that makes it so easy to drink. You go like, I need to put the brakes on this.
Yeah, it's not quite as thick as motor oil.
Yeah.
I would honestly say, and again, I'm running
Like,
from a Pacific
the
Northwest
old
area.
viscosity.
It's not old viscosity at all, although drink old viscosity because it's delicious.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably a good mix between like old Rasputin and the Abyss. Again, these are going to be West Coast,
actually,
Pacific
I agree
Northwest.
with that because the old Rasputin has that really astringent part to it.
Yeah,
and
the
that
really big
Abyss is like
roasty
super
astringency.
duper sweet and like just syrupy.
And the Abyss
so if you could get
slaps
right
you in
between
the
those,
face.
you'd have that.
That's this.
Yeah.
Mark, well done.
Bueno.
Well done. This is delicious beer.
Yeah.
That's Peter's, but you can steal it.
Yeah.
There's more in the growler.
Yeah, Copa. Actually not, but
It's Russian, so no, that's Czech. Nastravi is Czech, but you probably say it's some different. I don't know.
I don't actually speak Russian. I speak German, French, Italian, Spanish, and a little bit of English.
We're trying to teach my daughter a little bit of French too. How do you learn?
I do conversational learning, so it's the Pimsleur approach. So they have like half-hour lessons. So while I'm driving to work, it's like, I got a half an hour. Plug that in. When I'm driving home, my wife said, hey, why don't you learn French? Because we're going to France. And I said, all right.
He learns languages really well.
Je parle pas le français.
Yeah, exactly. That right there. I used to speak it in high school. My daughter's watching a show where she speaks it, so we're trying to teach her, so she's smarter than me.
If I can't find those hooky doodles, though, I'm going to go home.
Sounds good.
Buenas noches.
All right, let's get back to some questions.
Need more things?
Probably. I think 5-minute edition. This is yours, by the way.
Oh, sweet. I've got beer. 5-minute edition?
I think so. All right, I was rambling and I missed a few questions. Let me go back. Amarillo Smash is delicious. Do it. Why that there's different when you're looking? There's a question in here. He's looking at an Amarillo Smash beer. The numbers are different from Beersmith to Brewer's Friend. They're two different programs. They could actually be set up for different things. So check your brew house efficiency. Check your volumes. Check all that stuff. And in all honesty, guys, I mean, these programs are wonderful, but do use them as guidelines and use your own experience on your systems as the ultimate on it. Yeah, Torsten, you haven't thought of Crystal for a long time. People don't think of it anymore. It's a great hop. Some of those old school hops are like that because there's so many hops coming out. We get distracted like, ooh, new, shiny. And, we have delicious things.
Just
so.
a 0 and a dry hop. That's all it's about.
Yeah. This is the 5-minute?
0 in it.
There's
no 5
There's no 5-minute. 0 minute is in about 10 minutes. So yeah, a lot of these old school hops, and granted, I mean, we remember drinking these beers, and they all taste the same. Oh yeah, probably is actually. Yes. So there's a lot of these old school hops. Sorry, question from outside. These old school hops that we don't think about, we haven't used for a long time, and the beers all tasted the same originally when we used them because we used the same methods. Now there's new methods of doing things, and our practices are better for growing hops and brewing. Revisit a few of these. Yeah, Torsten is asking about the water volumes too. Again, different programs could be set up for different things. A lot of those things, especially if you're looking up somebody else's recipe, a lot of the times they will actually have that dialed into their specific brew house and efficiencies. So just make sure you're looking at those extra numbers on Beersmith and Brewers Friends and all that kind of good stuff.
I'll use this one.
Oh yeah. We don't have. Do you have any use or ever heard of any uses of gum Arabic for head retention or mouthfeel? We haven't heard of it. Do an experiment. Send us some. Good. That was the response to good. Oh man. A knot of toads. I said it right. Why do you use Crystal 10 and Crystal 20 instead of using 40 and 30? One, check your math on that. So Crystal 10 and 20 don't add together to be 30. They would add together to be Crystal 15. Also, the different levels of crystals will actually give you different flavors because of the amount of caramelization that's inside of those crystal malts. So you may want that light crystal flavor, crystal malt flavor and sweetness, instead of getting into some of the darker ones where you can get a little bit more roastiness, a little bit more biscuity, a little bit of darker caramelization flavors.
You could have had me at why do we use crystal and then call it.
Also a question, why do we use crystal?
Exactly, right? So
I dislike crystal in most situations. I will honestly say that. It's a personal thing. If you use it, you make great beer, keep doing it. Don't let me talk you out of it. I do not like to use crystal. I think people inappropriately use it way too much. Their beers end up tasting like pennies, and I don't want to suck on pennies. I want to drink delicious beer. There may be a specific brewery in my local area that does that I'm very angry the original brewer is no longer there to make sure it doesn't taste like pennies. Yeah. And again, on this, that's not to say that crystal isn't inappropriate. There are some beers that actually really do need crystal malts of some kind.
Steam beer.
Yeah, steam beer is a great one. In all honesty, a lot of the German amber lagers, like doing some fest beers, do rely on some crystallized malts. But you can branch out from the just C40 and C50 and all of that. Branch into some Cara Munichs, branch into Cara Roma. Cara Roma in an amber ale. Oh my God. Yes. Don't use C40 in that. Use some Cara Roma. It's going to be so much more delicious.
Or a little bit of Special B instead of a lot of C40.
Oh, special malts. If you're going to use crystal malts in something, ditch it. Use some special malts. Special B, Special X, Red X, Special Roast. These, they're so good. This is one of my, I'm going to get on a soapbox for a second. One of my reasons that I don't think a lot of newer homebrewers and breweries make great Belgian beers. They can make some good ones, but not great. Is because they're using crystal instead of Special B. Special B adds so much more to it. You get that sweetness, you get the roastiness, you get the figs, the dates, the raisins in there. And that does not come through with C120. It doesn't. Use the right malts. I mean, expand your horizons on that. Off my soapbox.
In terms of I heard something about C10 versus C30 or 40. I actually prefer the flavor of C10.
Well, all right. So the whole thing on that, he was asking portion of C10, a portion of C20, and why using a portion of those instead of going to C30 or C40. My initial response is 10 and 20 adds to 15 and not 30 as far as this math goes, because you add them together, divide them in half, basically. 10 and 20C don't add the 30C to start out with, but they're different flavors. Go.
Just in terms of overall flavors, I really prefer the flavors of the lighter crystals, and so I usually don't use too much more. Like, I kind of skip a lot of the middle flavors. I don't use C30, 40, 60. I hardly ever use C75, but I will use something like a C10 or a caramel pills, which is in that same kind of C10 range, or C15 is kind of the darkest I go, because they have more subtle, almost honey-like sweetness, or very, very light caramel versus the more aggressive flavors of those middle range caramels, which are like sickly sweet caramel. And then when you get to the darker ones, starting at C75, when you start to get toffee like, that's when I start to enjoy it a little bit more. And then of course, if you're using less crystal to get the same color with the C75, or even going into that C120, which is kind of the range that I really like to use, because you're only using a couple of ounces versus an entire pound or 2 pounds, you end up getting a lot better overall flavor. You can get really close to the camera.
Ribs are just coming off. I just have to throw this out here for some of you people. How do you know when ribs are done? When you see this good 1.5 to 2 inches of the meat pulling back off the bone, that means you can almost just pull the bone straight out.
Also, yeah. Also, I need to change my underwear for no reason. Someone says something about using Carahel and Caramunic. I use a Carahel or a Carahel substitute. We have caramel pills, which is in that similar range. And it's super tasty. Also, by the way, we nearly ran out of two-row this weekend. We had a lot of breweries coming in and buying us out of two-row. Just a little fun shop talk. Okay, I think it's time to get the chiller out of that fermenter, or out of that kettle and into this kettle. I am now by myself, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I have a fermenter ready to go. I do not have a pump hooked up to that, and I don't want to get out and sanitize the pump, so because I'm short on time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna use a strainer and strain the experimental beer into my fermenter. And get that sealed off, and then I'll go ahead and then get the chiller in there, add my 0-minute addition, and then continue chilling.
All right, had to go rest my ribs. That's an important part. Got to let your meat rest.
All right. Who the fudge let Logan do tie those things over there, by the way?
You.
Schmack. Okay. Beer number 1, ready to go into the fermenter. He's gonna reach. Maybe.
Oh, that?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Now I need to come down.
that can come down. All right. Did we turn this off yet?
We're about to.
We're about to chill. All right.
Oh, you got that?
This is gonna suck if I suck.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Except for that. Figure it out. The sound is here.
All right. Ready for beer number
That
two?
was definitely easy and not hard at all.
Well, I was about to do this part by myself. I don't know if you want to help me with that.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing with that?
Pour it through that strainer into that fermenter.
Oh, yeah. All right, let me help Peter.
Grab a side.
Got it. All right.
Beer number one is just on the cleanup. Beer number two is about to get chilled-nated.
Beer number one on the cleanup. Beer number two getting chilled. Ooh, oh shit. Turn that off. Turn that off. We moved it around.
There we go.
Oh shit. Yeah.
No kinks. Okay. No, we did not just pour a bunch of water onto electrical outlets. That's silly.
No. Nobody does that. Unless you want to electrocute yourself.
By the way, you guys out in YouTube world, pick a yeast for our green onion tea beer, because we have not yet done that. That's one of the funnest things about being in a brew store is you kind of have the world as your oyster when it comes to ingredients.
Eric Hansen. There could be a whole lot of reasons why your hazy drops clear and tastes strange. If it drops clear and tastes like it lost all flavor, what I'm actually going to guess what you have is a Brett or Brettanomyces infection. Especially because Brett's a diastaticus yeast, it actually will convert those proteins itself over into sugars and ferment them. And Brett's a monster; it eats everything. There is a point in Brett fermentation where the beer will lose all flavor. Basically, it'll become clear and it'll be almost tasteless. And if that happens, if your beer is tasting great, and then all of a sudden there's no flavor left over, I'd be willing to bet that there's Brettanomyces in it. And just let it ride for like 6 months. See what comes out. It could be, really delicious. Other words, without knowing a little bit more in particulars, we could guess, but they'd be guesses.
What are we picking?
Guy has 3 or 4 times. They're great, and then hazies are didn't. Love to figure out. That's a fun part of it. We're still talking about differences in like Beersmith and stuff.
I asked people about what yeast I got to pick.
Oh,
Anyone say?
Queck, Independence, Hornadal, Saison, 3471, Stefaner, Pub, German Hefeweizen.
Yeah. So, okay. Who wants it more? You got to give me a pitch. Why am I using the yeast that we're using? I like a lot of those ideas. I feel like Saison yeast sounds really great. I like the independence that we're going to show off the fact that we did both kind of a hoppy and a weird adjunct beer. Quake is just always a really good.
Quake is always great.
Super strong fermenter. I like all the ideas. Someone wants to do Hefeweizen, they want the fine stuff in. Well, I'm guessing fine stuff in wheat, not the fine stuff in lager strain.
I mean, is there a difference?
Yeah.
They're like the same strain.
The wheat and the lager?
I mean, you ferment it warm and you get wheat, and you ferment it cold and you get lager.
3470 versus WB06.
All right. Ignore that statement. What you doing, baby?
Rock, paper, scissors, guys.
All right.
Let's get this figured out.
Let's ask a baby. All right, Noel, what do you think about Quake? What do you think about Saison? We got a clap, so that's good. What do you think about Hefeweizen? Nothing.
That's like a half a clap.
I'm kind of half a clap. 3470. Ooh, she's excited about that one.
Independence.
Independence.
No, it was
That's
a no.
straight
Yeah.
up no.
We got somebody else agreeing with A15. Someone says 3470.
My personal opinion on that is actually go Belgian Saison instead of French, and or do the A15. Either go super clear and clean so you can taste everything in it, or really play into the chai and the oniony and deliciousness.
We've got a very strong A15.
It's a lot of A15. What do you think? A15 Independence? You don't know?
Let's go make sure I have
Don't
that.
touch it.
I like the Saison idea.
I like the Saison too. Apparently people just don't agree with us. Well, you know, not all the people. Yeah. Belgian Saison. I feel Belgian instead of French. Get it super dry, push more pepper out of there, a little bit more cloved, and the nice slickness, a little bit of cardamom that French Saison will give you. Which I have to say, I mean, French Saison is one of my favorite yeast out there. I love that thing. That's my sour strain. That's my Belgian and Saison strain. It's pretty darn good. I like it. It's a good fermenter.
I do have a little bit of a red herring to throw into the works. We also have Julius, the new seasonal from Imperial. Just to give you guys more to think about.
Just more to think about.
No rush. We got time.
There's some blues.
I brought me 2 whistles and a peach sun glitter and a
What?
I will go.
I'm going to check the temperature on this real quick. Oh, kicking around mics. I'm sorry.
Any updates?
Belgian beers are beautiful. Pepper would play with the green onion.
Julius contradict the teabag. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
No more haze. I've seen 2 people so far say for sure A15.
I've seen a few. I would
saw
say
one.
probably majority is A15 with a very slight minority behind that of Belgian Saison.
The irony is we might have to go with the Y East version of A15.
So that means we're going to go with Belgian Saison.
I mean, we do have 1272, which is what A15 is.
Yeah, but
We also have Belgian Saison. But then we got to get a firm wrap out.
there's one right there.
I know we've got
It's on the barrel.
yeah, but then we got to like hook it up, and that's so much work.
That's effort. Who wants to do effort? I think I'm kind of with that. The Julius wouldn't be the best with this in particular beer. We probably need to emphasize the spiciness a little bit more.
No B64. Is that rustic?
I think that 64 is that rustic or yeah, because that's Ardennes. I like that idea. I love Ardennes. That is actually my favorite Belgian yeast.
B64 yeast.
Good idea.
Napoleon.
Yeah, that's Ardennes.
No,
no, that's French Saison.
Yeah, Gnome is
Gnome is Ardennes. French Saison. All right. French Saison would be kind of good, but I personally think in this it needs to be a little bit drier. But I do kind of agree with that. A little rock paper scissors. A little rock paper
All right.
scissors for A.
I'll be on the A15 train. You're on the B. You're on the Saison train.
Saison
Whatever
train.
Saison we choose.
And I'm definitely not going to do this like Matt.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, that was hilarious. 1, 2 shoot or 1, 2, 3 shoot.
1, 2, 3 shoot.
Okay.
Yes.
Scissors
Saison.
wins. Wait, what?
Saison.
Scissors beats rock, right? Watch.
Oh. No.
All right, looks like we're doing
Looks
some
like
Saison.
we're doing some Saison.
I like that idea though.
That was a good idea.
That'll be good.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. It's all right. He's in most of the videos, at least screaming.
That is true.
That is true. Give Mama a relief. Oh.
All right, and so we decided Belgian Saison?
Belgian Saison.
All right, I'm on it.
Thorsten, you're right. I mean, the A15 would really be super clean. That would really exemplify all the ingredients. That's a great yeast to use. As you saw, it just barely lost. But I think to make a better beer, the Saison is the better choice because that's going to play into the ingredients and make it a little bit more balanced. Ooh, we're getting a little thunder here. Little thunder, little lightning. I gotta go move the trigger inside. All right, I just want to say out there again that we appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out with us. This is pretty fun. We didn't really know what to expect, especially being that it's Big Brew Day and everybody's stuck inside. And honestly, we just wanted to kind of drink some good beers and eat some delicious smoked meat. So I'm glad it turned out great for everybody. Pretty happy. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh, you can see it. I'm looking at the thing right now. He's tossing in some Saison right now.
Belgian Saison yeast.
Belgian Saison. We'll just let that free ride. It's been about 70 or so in the brew house lately. We'll just let it free ride. Let it go. That is one of the reasons that I personally love French Saison is that yeast really doesn't care about any environmental conditions. It's just going to ferment out deliciously. It is very hard to screw that yeast up. We do actually have some triple double. Triple double is delicious yeast, but we went for the Saison on it, Sam. No, or Ben, sorry. I saw Wilson and immediately went to Sam Wilson because, the Falcon. That was not the Falcon. Don't do that. But, yeah, I enjoy Gnome too. That's the Ardennes strain. I love that strain. Cold fermented, it's just nice, sweet, soft, bubblegummy beer. Warm ferment, just super pungently Belgian. Delicious.
Gnome. That's the actual Ardennes strain. I don't know if you already said that.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
No. I can't listen and read at the same time. You should know that by now.
I should know that, but I'd like to call him out for it anyway. It makes me feel good on the inside.
If you do the same beer and, by the way, Torsten, if you do the same beer and use the A15, let me know. I'm excited. I think the Saison with the green onions is kind of like a natural, natural positive marriage.
About. Oh no, yeah, Peter will answer it too. Sorry, we had a question from outside on there. Steve, no, this is not going to happen again next Saturday, but every Sunday morning we do a live stream as well. So tune into that. Sometimes we do one during the week as well if we have the time and ability to do that. Today we're just doing it because it's big homebrew day, you know, and as a homebrew shop, we got to do some homebrew, you know, join in, because why not? Ah, Timmy, it's not a safe choice. That's a wonderful choice. In all honesty, it is kind of a safe choice to go with the Belgian yeast instead of the A15 on there. Going on that saison, those pepper or the notes are going to flow straight into what it's used for. Sorry, distraction. The yeast notes, the yeast profile is going to go straight into what was used into the beer, which I personally think is going to make a better, more drinkable beer overall, which at the same time does make it a safer choice because it's less to screw up. I don't have a garbage here, though. No, it's not. That's fake news. I'm going to kill myself on this thing one day. Torsten, we'll see what we can do for that. Ooh, there's a pretty good storm rolling in right now. This is going to be fun for our parking lot party. Because it's Big Brew Day, we had people do the proper social distancing. They're all out in their individual cars yelling at each other, which is kind of funny. They all look like a bunch of nut jobs yelling at each other from the back of their cars, but it's wonderful. It's pretty fun. If we come over and wash your stuff, definitely could do that. But what beer are you going to pay us with? And it might very well be super worth it. I'm going to check the temp on that again. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the tailgate party.
Glad to see you like some action around here.
You know, a little bit. We got to get some action any way we can get it. Yeah. At least that's what I tell
The
my
very
wife.
well distanced tailgate party.
I got most of it.
You forgot to say the very well distanced tailgate party where you got one
No,
person
it
there
is
and one person
actually-
there and one
I
person
did
there.
comment about that. It is very well distanced, actually. We'll flip the camera around and show you on that. Now, there is a group, a larger group sitting together. They are all immediate family, and I can guarantee that because that is my family. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's do it. Let's flip it around.
Shorts.
All immediate family, all very well socially distanced out there. It's actually really fun. I mean,
And we got a thunderstorm coming in, so that's going to be awesome.
They're all getting rained on.
Right in time for us to get this brew day wrapped up.
Oh, look at that. That was a beautiful pan right there.
Yeah.
Nice, slow, smooth. Could have been a little bit slower. How did I reset it, though? Perfect. I mean, look at that. That is dead on.
mustard.
Eat it. Where you at? Ben Wilson, actually, opening up a satellite tap room is something that we are thinking about. It's on the docket. I mean, we got to see where this all lands with, coronavirus and how the market rebounds from that and all that kind of good stuff. We're not going to get into it because that's depressing and we're just having a great day today. But that is something on our docket. That's something that we actually feel is in our business model, that instead of trying to get into grocery stores and things like that, just try and, put little community tap rooms in and keep our same values going. He brought the mustard back. I really just wanted him to eat some first, but that didn't happen. I enjoy small children eating new things that they shouldn't, like that. Definitely fed my daughter blue cheese the other day really quickly. Quickly's not the right, but I mean really suddenly. She loves cheese, so I just gave her some blue, some good Danish, because why not? It's delicious. And she loved it, actually. That was amazing. My daughter's not very fun. She loves things like that. Oh, would you pull the plug in? Plug? It's in the rain. Or maybe just lift it off the ground, or yeah. Yeah, she loves things like, we fed her a pickle for the first time, and now we can't stop feeding her pickle. We fed her a pickle for the first time, and it was amazing. She absolutely loved it. So now we have to keep feeding her pickles. It's one of those things like, wait, you're supposed to make a funny face, and this is going to be hilarious, but instead you just love it? What's happening here? What's happening? But yeah. We got to get a few things in from outside, so forgive us for abandoning. Oh, look, here's Logan.
There's
Perfect.
a 30% chance that it's currently hailing. Ooh, should we do a pan? Can I pan?
Yeah.
Can you do a pan shot?
Oh.
Alright, panning.
That's our meat tray.
Where'd he go?
What?
Where you going?
It doesn't get rained on, and we can, have it later.
Child, in the way of stuff. Oh. Are you done? You done sinking?
What?
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's not contaminate.
That's sandy water.
Stop. Contaminate
All right.
and listen. Hey, why don't you go
Lloyd, pull it. I got it. Don't worry about it.
Are we getting like real rain now?
Yeah. Ooh. Getting some good rain now.
It's supposed to hail.
I mean, I won't say like great rain. I've definitely spent a lot of time in Florida, and that is like rain. But we're getting some pretty decent rains in here. How you feeling? A little wet?
Good, but
Little wet?
a little bit like these are.
I know, it's like,
Well, it's hail now.
And it's blowing in.
yeah, it's like,
Timmy's big adventure. I mean, actually, that's something that we have been thinking about setting up, is doing some, not necessarily doing Pro-Am collabs, but also doing classes where we bring people in from the outside, do little small batch homebrews. So do look for that in the future. That's something that we're doing, we're checking out. Sluggo, yes, we are right by Ziggy's, literally right next door. We could, if we wanted to, spit on their lumberyard, but we won't because they're cool people. And now we're getting some good wind. It's a little wet out there, isn't it, buddy? Our tailgate party shut down pretty quick. All right, so we're gonna rush around, get a couple of things inside before we all get soaked and shit gets our stuffs gets ruined.
FCC.
Hey, FCC, that is actually a word that you can say. Now, I could go over the 7 words you absolutely can't say, but I don't want us to get shut down by YouTube again. Because that already happened. Yeah, we already got shut down by YouTube today. Yeah, well, we had the music on in background, and it was unlicensed. Sorry.
Yep. Stick my hand right up in there.
Right behind that black car.
Wow.
The tailgate car.
That's my mother-in-law. They just got in the car.
Well, that one was white, but she did technically go to the right person. So I'll give it to her. This thing is cooling down really soon. It does that. 128?
Says 128.
It says it's at 128. That does not feel like 128
Did you get it figured out?
at all. That feels like maybe 100. So it's probably just right now below the temp gauge.
You can feather it.
Transferring some stuffs over. People visiting breweries right now.
Nice. We are also currently visiting a brewery. Fun facts.
Ziggy's? Yeah, Ziggy's. Yeah, I mean, you used to hear that commercial all the time. Somebody just commented on that. You used to hear, that's a sour?
Yeah.
The Bardic growler in there is some of the Singularity. Yeah, you haven't heard it in a long time. I mean, we live next to them, so, well, as a brewery, so we see them, but, you know, whatever. Beechwood, Monkish, Bottle Logic. There's some really good beer talk going on in the comments. Read through that, definitely. This is great. You guys can't see it, but behind the camera there's my brother-in-law standing, and he's, oh yeah, there's his hand. He's absolutely jealous that I get paid to drink beer on camera. You can't feel bad for him. He's a teacher, so he's literally doing nothing right now except for filming himself once a week.
That's a bunch of crap.
That's a bunch of crap.
I
That-
go live. I go live.
Oh, twice a week? We go live twice a week, too.
5 days a week.
Oh.
Now, compared to what I normally do, yes, it's easy.
Compared to what my wife as a special ed teacher has to do, oh, man.
She's
No.
got a lot. It is.
Feel bad for some of the teachers right now. Some of the weird, ridiculous stuff that they're being required to do. And you know what? As parents, just sign in and engage. Just engage. That's going to make their lives so much easier. Every time that you guys don't engage, they have to go back and justify it to their whole department and school and everything why you are not engaging. Like, just, I mean, even if it's as much as responding to the emails, like, come on, it's your kid's education. Let's do better. Not that you guys aren't doing bad. I'm not blaming anyone out there, but there are some parents who are not engaging and just thinking that their kid will sign on and play a computer program and learn something. And we got to do this together. All right, I'm done.
I think we got some extra work.
Feels like 100. This is the rule of what? Extra work?
Extra work.
Oh. The rule of thumb is amazing. And you know, for brewers, the rule of thumb is touch it. Does it burn you? No. It's probably close to 100. Less than 200. No, it's a little bit more than that. But if you've been working with stuff for a long time, especially your own equipment, you can kind of touch it and feel it. I mean, again, I said this at the beginning of the live stream. We put thousands of beers through this system here, so we actually do have a lot more instinct about our system than most people do.
So we definitely don't have too much wort right now.
All right, so the too much wort, I'm going to blame that on all of us. I sparked it out to a good amount of work for a big furious boil, and then the boil got turned down to a nice little simmer. So we did not boil off as much as I normally boil off in a mash and boil. So that's both of us, not just one of us.
That's Tim.
That's definitely Logan. Oh no, it was Logan because he started the boil and turned it down, not knowing that I wanted to boil more liquid off, and not telling me that he turned it down. So, and he's also not here, so it was definitely Logan's fault.
What? Oh yeah.
Don't worry, we've got a cave.
Yeah, we've made a cave.
All right, Ben Wilson, supporting breweries that don't make a joke of home brewers, and yeah, man. Like, all right, so there's two sides to this. There are a lot of home brewers out there who feel they are so much better than any other brewer because, oh my God, they made a Mr. Beer kit twice at home, and that is super frustrating. To have someone like come in and try and condescend you and be like, "Oh, I know more because I brew at home," like, yeah, do you? And there's things at home that you can do that you can't do on the commercial scale. There's a lot of times people who complain, they're like, "Oh, you dumbed this down." Well, yeah, because if we made that IPA with the amounts of hops that you did, you would have to pay $10 to $20 a pint to drink it, and we can't do that feasibly as a business. So there's a lot of difference between homebrew and commercial breweries, and so I won't blame it all necessarily on commercial brewers because a lot of home brewers really just don't get it. Now, having said that, there's a lot of commercial brewers that could remember that, hey, we've been there too, and there was a time when they didn't get it either. So we could be a lot could be nicer on both sides, I will say. But we found from homebrewers, we get a lot of inspiration from you guys. When you come in and you're doing absolutely wild, ridiculous stuff, it makes us think, hey, we can do that too. But we can do that, with all of our big equipment and throw it through these, filter, the hop back, all kinds of different stuff, access to equipment that you guys don't have. So it's fun. We feel that we learn the most from homebrewers rather than a lot of the professional scene. Where you learn a lot of good business sense from the professional scene, you get so much more creativity coming out of the homebrewers. Trusted mama, yeah. No, hey, we're going back to the school thing. Yeah, it is hard right now. Hey, she's saying it took her a long time to learn the logins and everything like that. I will say that most teachers have been very responsive, and you can go through their emails. There's been a lot of them that have actually been communicating through their own personal phone numbers, which is, I wouldn't trust that. No. I've seen some of our customers. I'm not giving them my number. But, yeah, the systems are not making it easier either. I will agree with that. There's a lot more better that could be done about the
It's a lot
systems
more
that we
betterer,
use.
guys.
Yeah, the systems that teachers are using. So, all right, let's go down through a few more. Where are we at?
This is not Logan's fault. BS, it's always Logan's fault unless Tim's not here and Logan's here, in which case it's Tim's fault.
Hey, you did not say that, Torsten. At least not to me, or audibly. That I remember.
He's on Team Logan, though. You're getting ganged up on.
When did you guys put that in? Huh? How long you guys had that there?
Oh, Ben, yes. That's one of the things on there. He's commenting that, keep it. Hang on. education is key to bringing in customers. Educating your customers in an interactive way of why they should be drinking your delicious beer over the stuff that they can buy in stores. I mean, if you're in Portland, you're in Seattle, you're in San Diego, San Francisco, like all that stuff, you can survive making crappy beer as long as you look cool. I mean, there is something to be said about branding and having a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can buy, pop sockets for the back of your phone, socks, things like that. But you know, I mean, there's only so much of that can get by, and you know, do you really take pride in that? Would be my question. Legitimate question. I mean, do you take pride that people are wearing your stuff rather than enjoying something and enjoying being part of that community that you created? Education is pretty key to that, and you know, having people understand why they should be drinking what you're drinking is good. There's a lot of people that come in and are like, oh yeah, you know, I've had Golden Road or, you know, Goose Island or Shock Top, and it's a great craft beer. Well, that person is wondering why they're paying a premium for your beer, and you know, really make them understand, well, okay, my beer is better because A, B, and C, and also I can point to that little nugget over there, which I'm pointing to my daughter. You just can't actually see her right now. And you were feeding her instead of, you know, sending a big corporate guy on his 5th vacation for the year. That, as craft beer breweries, I think that's what we're about, is that community part. So I enjoy that you guys love doing that as well as we enjoy having you here and getting to talk nerd all the time.
Wow. Yeah. It ended up like you definitely still onion, but in the boil it ended up coming out like a little bit minty. Like I got some fun other notes off of it. Like mint and earth spice.
Ben, yes, I've tried everything Golden Road, I've only tried their distributed things. I'm not super impressed by a lot of it. It is delicious beer. What they make is very high quality brewed beer. I can taste the macro in it. Golden Road is owned by one of the macro guys, and there are certain aspects in there where they're trying to cut cost and make it a little bit more feasible for them to produce the large amounts that they do. I appreciate that they're keeping things as true to what they did before, but at the same time, there's still little bits of aspects that you can taste in there. And granted, I'm an uber beer nerd. I'll drink it. You hand me one, yeah, it's going in my face hole. I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm a brewer. I'm a home brew shop guy. I approach these things from a little bit more of a critical standpoint. And in all honesty, I'm not going to give my money to Golden Road. When I can choose to give it to a brewer that I know I can literally shake their hand, and I'm helping them, you know, pay off their house or expand bigger, you know, things like that. That's where I'm going to go instead of the macro guys. They do make some very delicious things. A mango cart, I mean, that's a really delicious thing. Although I will say, if you enjoy mango cart, drink the Mango Days from Silver Moon because it's better. But you know, it's also one of those things, just picking who you choose to give your money to. And where we are in our small market here in Spokane, I would rather go over to our small breweries and give my money to those guys. Timmy, I think you're calling me out on that. And I'm not trying to pass off any of these big guys as being badly made beer at all. They make very high quality products. There just are some things that you can taste that they skip out on, like using some flavorings instead of actual hops in it. And in all honesty, that's something you have to do when you produce so much and you're distributing it everywhere in the world. There are some things you have to do to make your beer stay shelf stable and viable for the whole time. They're not bad beers at all. I just don't prefer to drink them.
Yeah.
We're on macros, I think. Sports marshals? Yeah.
Well, we got everything done. It's probably time to start wrapping this thing up.
Yeah. Oh, it was a joke. Okay. All right. Thanks, Ben. And again, I was trying to be a little bit political about that. And they don't make bad beers, but yeah, no. A lot of the macros, it's really funny what they do. We were talking about sneaky macros.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of big beers out there that some are like definitely drinkable. I personally just don't buy them because there's so much other options out there. And I don't mind spending a little bit more money when I'm buying beer. It's one of the things, like, everyone's got their things that they're willing to spend money on. Some people collect guns and they're willing to like throw out a lot of money on guns.
Well,
Do you need it?
all right.
Probably not, but
So
that's
even
beer for
on
me.
that point, being here in the Pacific Northwest, you're not going to save money, spend it or buying, or you're not going to save money, buying macro versus micro. If you buy some Elysian Space Dust, you're going to pay way too much for that beer and how much they dumbed it down versus going to an actual, craft brewery that's probably going to be a couple bucks less a pint and also delicious.
And also, if I ever get offered $10 million to sell this place, you're damn sure I'm doing it. Unless,
For
like,
sure.
inflation goes crazy and $10 million is no longer a lot of money. But
If we get offered a certain percentage, yes, 100%. Are you kidding? If my family would be set for life, I no longer have to worry about providing for my daughter for the rest of her life. And I have to wait 5 years to just, start brewing again. Yeah, that's going to happen. That's some good money. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that people do that. So I'm not going to hold it against anybody who does. I will hold it against people who say they will never sell out and then 2 days later sell out.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, like when they make a beer called what's
Loser?
it? Loser. Yeah, Loser Pale Ale, saying basically F corporate beer, and then a year later they sell out.
Oh my God! Like I'm gonna say it right now, that Elysian makes me mad. What? You're not gonna listen to Dick Cantwell? For real, son? Who do you think you are? Like, that guy is amazing. He can make better beer. Just literally. I'm tying myself up right now. Dick Cantwell is amazing, and you should have listened to him. Now, granted, those guys selling out at Elysian made a hell of a lot of money. They are set for a long time. Cantwell's at another brewery making beer, so in the end, it all kind of worked out. But
Hey, we didn't use this.
we didn't use that.
That wasn't my bad thing. We kind of got
Distracted?
we got distracted. A lot of things were happening, and so you know what? We'll use it next time. Don't worry about it. But I do think it's about time to. Yeah, that went in there for sure.
Those are dry hops.
Yeah, you didn't see them. It is about time to probably wrap this up. We got some hot food waiting for us, and some hot people waiting for us too. Wink. So cool.
Hey guys, again. Yeah, we're not going down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
before we get
So
into a gun debate, let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. Thank you, everybody who tuned into this. We will be still doing a live stream tomorrow at 8:45 Pacific Standard Time, like we do every Sunday. So tune into that. We'll have actual topics and stuff like that to go over, so it won't be just watching us
it won't
brew.
just be me standing up here.
Yeah.
ranting.
But
I mean, I kind of enjoy it. You guys have to listen to me, so I don't have anybody talking back. It's wonderful. I wonder if I could actually get my wife to do this, so I didn't have to listen to her while I'm talking at her.
yeah.
She can't hear me right now, which is a wonderful thing. But I
Because
will
he'd be
in
beat up
trouble
otherwise.
later. I will be in trouble. Yeah, again, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like button. Follow all of us on our individual things. Genus Brewing, Genus Beer Miler, Genus Danger Boots, Facebook, all that other good stuff. I think we have a TikTok now. I don't know. I'm old, so I search TikTok and my phone just shuts down. So, yeah. Thank you all. We love you. Have a good night. Stay safe and healthy.